Okay. So just wanted to start this with a note of gratitude because to come here today was actually a very busy day. And then I'm really thankful for my in-laws who have been very supportive because my mother has undergone a surgery and then she's with us in our house. And so I'm grateful for my in-law support, my brother-in-law, co-sister. So they've been giving me things or making things for me whenever we need, when I have to take her to the hospital or something like that. So they are here to give me some extra food, which I have not cooked and all of that. And I'm still able to manage to squeeze some time for the gym. I'm able to rather do some chanting because without doing chanting or without doing my Kriya Yoga, I think these are some things that we have to keep in touch because if the very fact that everything is getting balanced is because of the energy that I am actually getting from those things. And then gratitude has always been there for the whole day, majorly because, and since the gratitude classes happened in 2023, maybe 2023, June, July types. From then I've been practicing gratitude, major, like literally journaling kind of gratitude. And then since then, I have also kept some alarms in my phone, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, those kind of alarms, or whenever I see recurring numbers, whenever I see something very fancy, so many things. I basically take cues from what the universe is giving me, and then I do gratitude. Because if you've done magic class, there are so many different ideas that they give in terms of to how do we practice gratitude. Very different ideas are there, and in that I have picked up some ideas, and I'm continuing to do gratitude. So these will continue to give me that energy to sustain the challenges that we have in the day to day life, because every day is not the same. When we have a patient at home, there will be different kind of needs. They will have their stomach gets upset, or their urination is a problem, because with seniors many things like this happen. And then you will need to provide solutions for that, and then suddenly you will not know what to do. And then I have my sisters who are constantly giving me ideas. They are not here, they are in the US and Canada, but then they are constantly in touch with WhatsApp, in WhatsApp, and then they're constantly there giving me ideas when I'm actually not able to think or I don't know about some of those things. So like this, and my children are older, and the timing is so perfect. My children are older and they are not needing my attention on a day-to-day basis. They are doing their own work. My husband is also supportive. Uh, and my young older daughter is not here, so that way her room is available for my mother to actually stay here, like a spacious room for her to stay with and very really blessed to have a caretaker. See, it's not like when we just decide to have a caretaker, we'll get a caretaker. With my grandmother, with my husband's grandmother, when she had dementia, and when we were looking for caretakers came, but almost every single half a month they would disappear. So having a good caretaker, like having a good maid at home, right, is actually a blessing. In fact, in the gratitude classes, so many times we've discussed about the maid topic, because that has been a very big topic that most of the ladies face. And it's truly like a blessing to have actually a good maid, because that day-to-day support is so necessary. So that caretaker is literally, I mean, I'm really not able to even, my head is actually not able to even look at one single judgment about her. So it is so perfect. She's so proactive, very kind, very compassionate. She's always there for my mother. Even before my mother can think, she's actually thinking. And that way it is helping me to manage many of the other day-to-day activities that is necessary for her, whether it is medicines, go fetch this, go fetch that, or talk to the doctor about this, talk to the doctor about that. Then, so many of these things, make juices for her, fruits for her, like time cooking. All of those things are actually really helpful, and such a caretaker is there. And then we've also got a very good physiotherapist. So because for the total knee operation, for both the knees, we really need to do a lot of physiotherapy. And then we've got a very good physiotherapist. And that also came because of surrender. I had surrendered, and I got many. The hospital said, no, we don't have a caretaker. Rather, sorry, we don't have anybody who's coming to your area from the hospital side as far as physiotherapists were concerned in the hospital. Then I was seeing, then I was asking my friends and all of those things. Then I surrendered and then started that process. Then the physiotherapist that she was doing in the hospital itself, she gave some reference. And then I spoke to her also. And after that, there was a coordinator in the hospital, doctor's coordinator. She called me and she said, oh, I will also see if I can arrange, is what she told. I just left it. But then there was one person who just called me and he said, oh, okay, we've spoken about everything. We've spoken to the coordinator, we have spoken to the doctor, everything is done, and we are going to come from Monday. And he also said that we are going to cover this in insurance and all of those things. So I was so grateful. And I had to cancel the other one because this seemed to be covered in insurance, and he was so proactive. And it was like as if I didn't have to do anything, and he had already decided that he's going to come, kind of thing. There was no choice for me. So, so such a good physiotherapist, and all of everything was coming together. They say in one of the posts I mentioned, it's a beautiful unfolding that the universe is doing. So surrender does this, and then you all know that I am a nature care practitioner, and then I help people to heal themselves with fruits, vegetables, juices, and those kinds of things, and not medicines. But then when it comes to my mother, she's taking a ton of medicines for the surgery and all that. So rather making my own mind more accepting of that fact that she's not becoming toxic and all of that, it was a journey that had started even before the operation and all of that, because I had to really accept the fact that she's going to have medicines, and then I need to be able to stomach that, digest that, right? So that has now sort of fell in place, and I'm perfectly okay with that, because I've just taken that as, oh yeah, this is God's decision, so I have no question to ask. And then she was recently diagnosed with she was going for urination very much, and then I have worked with people with chronic UTIs, and I clearly know that, rather I had a belief system that when you take a lot of medicines consistently, and I also had a belief that pelvic bottom, if we continue to keep taking medicines to suppression, it actually becomes more and more, and other organs also get affected. So this was one more belief system that I had to face. See, all of the belief systems that I have worked with my clients and all of that, those came as a challenging thing. And then even though my mother has followed this lifestyle, she's not young enough to tolerate all of the pain and still go through natural and still say, okay, pain is okay, I'll do this, I'll do that kind of thing, right? So just give me a minute. So it was not easy. And then I surrendered. I said, okay, fine. Whatever experience has to happen will anyway happen. Who am I to say no, yes? But what is going to be challenging is, let's say, me fighting my own belief and saying, oh no, this is what is a consequence when you have medicines for UTI, and it's not going to be okay for her. Tomorrow she's going to suffer, or that is going to have a cascading effect. So that was something that I had to bat. So I thought, okay, the only thing that is going to happen here is I'm going to battle myself, or I'm going to argue with her, or she's going to say, I want meds. And that is going to be one more battle for me. So instead of doing any of these battles, and I know for a very fact that whatever experience has to happen will anyway happen, let me just be calm and accept whatever comes. So I surrendered, and then I called, rather I spoke to my mom, and then she said, no, I'm very tired. I won't be able to, because of the knee operation and all that, I'm not in a position to actually go through this in a natural way. Because if it's natural, we have to take a lot more liquids, which means she has to go to lose urination a lot more, which means walk a lot more, or diapers a lot more. She's not comfortable with that idea at all, especially with both the knees operation and all of that. So she said, no, I'm going to take medicines. And since I had surrendered, I said, okay. And then I was also in a perfect position. I was grateful. All of these things had come before the UTI thing and all started. Also, I was very grateful for all of these things that are actually happening, because I was able to go to gym. I was still able to manage juices. I was able to manage my own health. Everything had fallen in place, right? Because of that gratitude, surrender had come, and then this medicine also I went and purchased, and then I went and ordered cranberry juice. I thought, okay, yeah, let's do parallelly. Let that also happen, and then I'll also keep doing whatever. So that is what I had surrendered for. I said I'll do whatever I think is right, irrespective of whatever decisions happen. So like this, day to day, day to day, day to day, so many challenges come, and on top of that, what happens suddenly? We will know, oh, doctor has told this, and then she will say, no, no, I want this only. And then sometimes, so like this, lots of conflicts also come in between, where the ego will think that, oh, see, I had told this, but they did not listen, and now they are only asking for this, right? There are so many such issues that keep cropping up on a day-to-day basis, because seniors are seniors, right? Adults are adults, and if we only have so much of ego, imagine they are like so much more older than us, and they have actually strengthened their ego so much more. So like this, when it keeps coming, I was only filled with gratitude that there are no general day-to-day challenges. It was only me, and God has given me so much of support, so that I can work on my mind. And I can't complain. I really can't complain, because he's told me, it's like all these experiences are telling me that, Smita, I'm going to give you all of these experiences which are going to support you in general, but you will also have time to do job. You'll also have to focus on job. You have to focus on energy, working on your energies, and then applying all of this acceptance and surrender in all of these things. Imagine if I had to do literally go there and then do the diaper work, this work, that work, run around. Like my mind, if my mind was completely occupied with all those things, I wouldn't be able to do so much, which means maybe I would have got some few little bit of time to do gratitude here, and because mind is interacting with something else. So when the mind is interacting with something else, at that time you can't push back and say gratitude, right? Because we are not in a position where we are there in multiple, we don't have that multidimensional consciousness yet. So I was actually filled with gratitude, and all of this happened. And then my older daughter also sent me a gratitude message. It was so amazing, right? She was crying, and then she told that, I'm so grateful to have you guys as parents, because I saw an Instagram post where the parents absolutely disregarded whatever the child was asking, and she couldn't go to a competition, she couldn't go to some dance, and she couldn't really go to some trekking or whatever. But then you guys have not told no any time, and you have been very kind. When you even speak on the phone, you have respected me and all of that. She was she had her own moment of gratitude, and then she was sharing that she was crying at 2 o'clock a.m., 2 a.m. in her time, US. And then she had shared that gratitude message. So it was all about gratitude only this morning. And it is so beautiful, right? When challenges will come, challenges are there in everybody's life. Just because I'm talking all of these gyan stuff here doesn't mean that I don't have challenges. But then I can always see the same things in a different light. In that, if I'm able to search for how to be grateful, because I want to do gratitude, right? I want to do gratitude, so I will have to search for points to do gratitude. If we don't want to do gratitude, if we say, "Oh, yeah, I'll keep doing whatever is my old habit," then that doesn't work. So when we want to do gratitude, how did I want to do gratitude? Because every single day I'm constantly thinking about how to be grateful, ways to be grateful. Oh my God, this is what God has given me. This is what God has given me. This is what God has given me. And every night, bow down to that creator and say how beautiful my day was. You gave me that awareness to do these things. Even if you're able to do a little bit of surrender, little bit of acceptance, thank the universe. The more you acknowledge God for what he has given you, even if it's 5%, even if it's, let's say, one needle in a big haystack. The entire haystack is your problems, and then there is only one needle which you think is you can be grateful for. Acknowledge and say, yes, I'm grateful for this. Because today you'll find only one needle. Tomorrow you'll find two needles to be grateful for. Day after tomorrow you'll find three. So like that, if you start with doing gratitude for one, then the gratitude for the second will show up in your life. You can't start with 100 gratitude points at the same time. It will be there, but your mind has not been trained to recognize those things, right? So hence, gratitude should be like your foundational thing to start building that energy. Chanting is also one such method where you're constantly, see, in a whole day, if you're constantly thinking about your mother-in-law, father-in-law, this happened, that happened, that happened, this happened, where is the time to even change the mind to do something positive, right? So this is where you have to force the mind to do something else. When the mind is constantly thinking about something, bring it back and start chanting. And then in that chanting, focus on some word or focus on something, or even if you're doing some work, let's say cutting, chopping, focus on that work itself. That also is okay. In the present, whatever you're doing, focus on that. That is not the problem. So in the present, whatever you're doing is actually not a problem. So focus on that, which is not a problem. And then it will train your mind to look at things that are not a problem. If you constantly think about things which are a problem in your life, then it will continue to exist, because as a creator, as a co-creator, as a God, whatever you put your focus on, that will build, that will grow. And you have to decide what you want to focus on a daily basis. There will come a time when you will actually be in the middle of a challenge and you will still be grateful. In that challenge, you will be able to stay calm and still see good things in that. But for that kind of sustenance to come, you have to practice and repeatedly be willing to practice day in and day out. I think many people are here who are actually able to practice on a daily basis, even in their challenging situations. Maybe here and where it misses, but that is okay. But predominantly, you can like put a hand on your heart and say, I am predominantly grateful in a day. Why did that happen? It is because you were consistently trying to follow on a daily basis. So that trial is extremely necessary. You try, you put your intention and say, I will try, I will try, I will every single day, I will want to do this. Then whenever that awareness comes, you are anyway going to do it. Because who is giving you that awareness? God only is giving you that awareness. He is listening to every single thought of yours. So have that predominant thought which says, I want to do this. I intend to do this. Then ideas will come, because the mind is constantly loitering around here and there, right? So if he has to give you that awareness to what you asked for, be thankful for that. Hey, I asked you for gratitude practice opportunities, and you gave me this thought. You gave me the awareness to actually think about gratitude. So this is extremely important, that you wanting to do is very important. Next is God's work. You wanting to do and then surrender. That if you don't say I'm wanting to do also, like many people have come here and said, no, I don't have time. I'm busy serving the world. I'm busy serving relatives. Yeah, when we are busy serving relatives, we are cooking, we are going to potty, we are alone at the time. We are taking bath, we are alone at the time. When we are cooking also, we are alone. When we are cleaning the table, we are alone. When we are washing the dishes, we are alone. When we are mopping the floors, we are alone. When we are all alone at that time, what is the mind thinking? Cursing the world? That is your choice. Are you going to curse the world at that time? Are you going to curse your experiences at that time? Feel bad for it? Feel self-pity for it? It's a choice. So here in this class, the only thing that we are here to do is experiences are going to be there. It's going to be there in your life. In that situation itself, you should be training yourself to practice all of these things. That is the class all about. So we are not here to discuss how to change those problems and then make your ego feel happy. We are not here to make your ego feel happy. A bad day for the ego is a very good day for the soul. Right? We are going to, here ego is not your enemy, but ego is an untrained baby. Sorry, untrained, let's say a dog or something like that. Now we are just training the dog to become like that police squad dog. Right? They are very efficient, right? They are very efficient. Those squad dogs are very efficient. So we are going to make our mind, our ego like that. Okay. So this is about gratitude. And what else? I think I listed down some of these things. See, in between all of these things, I'm still able to squeeze time for my Gita classes, for my Ramcharitramanas classes. It is important. I am like this because of all those classes, because of the gratitude classes, because of the gratitude practice, because of the chanting that I do, because of the, let's say, the meditation that I do. Even if the Kriya Yoga takes about 45 minutes if I sit and do properly. But since the operation started, I have not done 45 minutes. I have done only a 10-minute version. Sometimes I do even 5-minute. I just show up. I just show up for some of those things. And sometimes if I'm not able to do 5,000 plus chanting, I just do 1,000. Doing and showing up for that is far more important than not doing at all and blaming the world and say, oh, the world kept me busy. That's why I was not able to. So it's like I can't miss those classes, because like how this class is reminding you, that class which that Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's knowledge to say how you have to live your life. And that is very important to understand how to live my life. Without applying those principles, I can't be like this, a calm, peaceful person in the midst of a challenge. And because we are able to stay calm, circumstances mold themselves. Experience will not go, but the experience becomes more supportive. Experience becomes more cooperative. Experience becomes more collaborative. Somehow people around will start supporting you. Maids will not take leave. All of these things will actually happen. It is like God is saying, your soul who has created this experience for you is going to say, I can't take away the experience because that experience is going to teach you a lesson. It is here to build you. I can't take it away. Nobody in the world can take it away. No master can take it away. No God can take it away, because it's your choice. You created this experience, and nobody has it is ethically wrong to actually remove you from that experience because your ego disliked it. In many of our situations, ego dislikes, I don't like this experience, I don't like that experience. Nobody in the cosmos has permission to take away that. So the experience is not going to go away until you reach your soul state, which is through meditation or something like that. And then you say, okay, I don't need this experience in this life. Are you going to go there? That too with the ego? No, you can't go because you're not trained to go there. That too with the body. So obviously we have to accept it because it has already been done. It's a soul plan. It has already been done. So it is going to come. Nobody in the world can change it. No God also can change it. No coconuts also can change it. Right? So it is important to understand that experiences are constant in your life. They will not change it, and they will come here to teach you experiences. The only thing that is going to change is your perspective to see that experience. The perspective is clouded or the perspective is clear. If it is clouded, it is because there is layers of dust or layers of garbage or belief system which was created in the past, which was very good. It is very important to respect those belief systems. Okay, it is not a bad belief system. We created those belief systems for some past experience. It could be some past life experience. It could be past this life itself, some past experience. So many different lives that we've led with some belief systems are still clogged up inside. So now they are not serving us. So we need to let them go. And to let them go, the only way to let them go is Experience will come and show you you have this. And at that time, you have to accept that it is inside you and then let it go. For example, let's say, see, it's not just direct experience that will come, okay? It is an indirect experience also that will come. For example, let's say, now let's say there is a husband and let's say there are kids. Kids are fighting with each other. Now, if they are fighting with each other, you will also have a belief system to say if they fight with each other right now, then maybe they will still fight as adults also. That is also a fear that we have. When we have 2 children or 3 children and all that, why do we have? I mean, in the past, we had a belief system that, oh, they need company, all of those things, right? We have two. But then, irrespective of, let's not decide that we took that decision. Let's say the experience at a soul plan level, we had 2 children and they two children came. But then if they are fighting with each other, when they are disrespecting each other, when they are not very calm, when let's say one is being suppressed, the other is dominating, so many such experiences come. There also we have fear. And then we try to go and then, so what is the ego thinking? There is happiness when both the children are actually in harmony with each other. But now, let's say they are in disharmony with each other, we will try to go and fight in that situation to get our harmony, to get our happiness back. Because only in harmony the ego is happy. But in disharmony, ego is not happy. So ego will try to mold things, will try to strategize, will try to get its way to get them to become harmonious with different ideas. You'll go tell one child one more thing, you'll go and tell one more child one more thing, see, you should not do like this, okay? You should do like this, okay? All of that gyan we keep doing, strategizing. So that is also a trigger for you to see your own fear. That's all. It is not about you and going, so you can't take it as an experience. Or let's say there is a situation, let's say child is not studying. And then you may be a very calm person, but then husband is not a very calm person. He will go into, you have to study, you have to study. If you don't study, you will fail only this year. All of that, maybe we are attending all kinds of spiritual classes and then we have been told, oh, we should not talk like this to children. We should be like friends. We should give them respect, all of those things. But then when the other partner is not very aligned to those kinds of principles, and they are like literally in that old school parenting kind of thing, then you will also get triggers there. So it's an indirect trigger. Because when two people are interacting with each other, you expect them to interact with each other in a way that you think. Only then you will be happy. But then if they are interacting in a different way, then also you'll try to go and then meddle in their lives and give them ideas, send them Instagram posts of gyan, tell them this post, this, maybe if they read this, they'll become okay. If they see this video, they'll become okay. Maybe this parenting video, they'll become okay. So this is also something that it's a sign that we are not in surrender, we are not in acceptance. And it's difficult. It's not easy. Because those things will keep playing on a day-to-day basis. Every single day, you are not in 100% acceptance. You decided to become accepting, but it will still play. So then, why is it still playing? Because you are not in acceptance. But once you are in 100% acceptance, it will go off. The very fact that it is still playing in front of you, people are still not in harmony with each other, all of that, and then you are still able to see flaws in people. Dosh. In Hindi, they call it dosh. When you're able to see flaws in other persons, because let's say this experience is happening because of him, because my husband is like this, because my daughter thought like this, because she is not very hardworking, because she is like this, because he's like this, because he's not very understanding. All of these because he, she, all of that we have in our head. Why is the ego saying all of these things? Because we have a fear that whatever disharmony they have is going to create a situation in future which my ego is going to dislike. It's going to be unhappy. Because you want everybody to be happy around us. We want family to be happy. We want children to be happy. We want, like I gave that big list of factory settings, right? In the WhatsApp group, something like that. So when that factory settings are like breaking in between different people, you are actually just an observer, but you have a relationship with them. Then also you have to be very careful to watch your own trigger. And your own trigger most often is fear. Fear of whatever, because of attachment, you have that extra. Let's say if the same thing is happening in your neighbor's family, and the neighbor is coming and telling this is what is happening, you'll hear and then you leave it. Or the same thing is happening, let's say, in your relative's family. The same thing you'll hear and say, Ayo, Papa, and then you'll probably give some advice or something and move on. You will not actually worry about it so much. But then if the same thing is happening in your own family, then your intensity is more. Your strong, this your attachment to them wanting to be loving is far more. So there you'll slip. You'll have to see your triggers. And the ego is expecting happiness from that relationship, to give you happiness from that relationship, from their own relationships also, from their own interactions also. But if they are not giving that happiness, the ego will try to meddle in that, in their lives, and try to get it back. So watch out for this. This is not going to work. The only thing that is going to work here is you watching and telling yourself that, oh, because of me having fear, this is playing in front of me. And every single time it happens, you have to keep reminding yourself that this is because of me, this is because of what is inside me. It is attracting all of these things like a magnet. And just keep accepting. And then be grateful for other things. If you're not able to be in gratitude, as much as possible, try to accept that situation because of some other reason. Because of, for me, God has created this, God has given me this, is very, works for me. Because for me, God, I respect God a lot. So if He has given me some experience, for me, it's like, okay, there's no two ways about it. I have to take it. That is my kind of conviction. But for you, each of you, the conviction can be different. What can make you accept some situation, right? So this is very important for you to understand that it's not just it's not just about you, it's also about some two people, and their interactions also disturbing you. And we also have known about, let's say, some wars disturbing you. People are like, you've heard about a war going on, let's say, between Israel and all of those things, and there also you're disturbed. So watch out for some of these kinds of things. Wherever there is a lot of attachment, a lot of expectations, it will play out. And at that time, you have to sit down and say, why am I getting involved in this? Why am I wanting to do something here, wanting to fix something here? Because I have a selfish motive to get something back. Something was taken away from me and I want it back. I had happiness coming to me like this, it was coming to me, but now they have taken it back. These two people with fighting each other, they have taken it back. I want it. And I'm going to do anything to get it back. That is the way ego thinks. It will do anything to get it back. So watch out for this kind of triggers also. Okay. Fear is something, fear is like a, at least in my terminology, virus is not bad, but you can just think of fear like uh, something that pulls you down to the underground. And we all have a lot of fears hidden. We don't even know how fear is attached to many of the experiences. And it will, see, this situation, many of these situations, third party issue, fighting and all of that has happened in my life. But I've tried to observe the situation, and many different things have got ideas, but fear has never come. The word fear came only in this last week. Oh, because of fear, I'm thinking that they both should not talk rudely to each other or something like that. So, and it has been a practice that I've been doing for many months, not to interfere in somebody's life. But then in mentally also we interfere. It's not physical. Sometimes physically, initially we interfere. Don't do this, don't do that. Sending WhatsApp messages is next level. Okay, that is also physical only. Some nice video will come and then you send that video and then say, they will learn definitely. Did you see the video? Did you see the video? There was a nice message, yeah, to be a parent and all, good parent and all good. That kind of next interference. The next level is you're mentally thinking But you're mentally telling, no, I should not go to, I should not interfere in their life. But then mentally, you'll still be thinking, "Chai, only if he had told like this, only if he had understood her, only if she had told like this, only if she had behaved a little more politely to her father." Some of these things are mental interference. We are putting our energy into their energy. And that is also mental interference. Next level is you are just mentally also telling yourself acceptance. It's okay, leave it. So as many of these, see, when you try to go and interfere in their lives at that time and try to correct them, they will not listen to you. You might have observed this. Nobody will listen. Nobody will agree that they're wrong. Nobody will actually say, yeah, you're a goddess. You come and told me all these things. So yes, you have all the right advices and I'm going to listen to you. Nobody will say this because we are in the wrong energy. Rather, we are in the disturbed energy. We are in the manipulative energy. So why will they listen? They are a reflection of us only, no? They will not listen, right? So important. All of these things are very important. At least recently, this is what I've been managing in my life. Because for me also, my father had told, oh, three sisters should not fight at all because his sisters had fought, and even till the last minute of their life, they really did not have a very great life. And then later on, their children also not very great acquaintance and all of that. So my father was very particular that we should not fight. So he was like, don't fight, don't fight, don't fight, don't become like your aunts, don't become like your aunts. So that was like stuck in my head. And that also, even I used to tell my own children also in the past. Oh, this is what my father used to tell. So even you all should not fight, you all should not fight. So little bit of here and there, mind gets disturbed. But then it took me a long time to actually believe that no, their foundation is good. Whatever God has given in terms of value system, that they already have children, even if they fight, even if they don't talk to each other for some time, it is perfectly okay. They will outgrow it, because as teenagers they have fought, as kids they have fought, but then after a while, when they became older and all of that, they have not fought. So there are many things that we have to convince ourselves that the situation is not actually bad, that you need to put anxiety and worry and all of those things. Okay, let me just go back to the questions now. Okay. I think the first one was um, I'm quite worried about my close relatives issue. I think this was about money. Yesterday, I surrendered to the Lord, to the universe, to take care of the issue and resolved it as I'm unable to. At an instant, I felt relieved there. So I think I'd sent this message where the person was worried about the relative's money problem and they were in debts and all of that. So she was worried for them. So how do I practice surrender here? I think this I answered in the group, where I had also sent this message about David's message where he spoke about worrying is going to siphon the the energy of the person that you're worrying for. Siphon in the sense it's going to suck up. It's going to suck up the energy that you're worrying for. And actually, you're doing a damage to them through your evil eye, is what he said. So in Kabbalah, there is many of these things where they actually, Kabbalah is more about ancient, what do you say? It's a system. It's a system where spiritual system set of beliefs. So, but then let's not look at the terminologies here, right? Let's not look at the terminologies and call it evil eye and all of that. Let's look at it from our point of view only. When you are worrying, what is the kind of energy you have? You are in low energy first. Okay. Then what else happens when you're in worry? You are not actually in a belief system where you say whatever is happening is for the good. That is also one more thing that happens when we are in worry. And then we can't take the fact that somebody is suffering and those challenges are necessary for them, and that is why, and they have planned that in their soul life. That also we can't think, we can't accept that somebody who we are seeing as a relative, they have planned these as their soul experiences. But when that comes in front of us, our mind has a belief system to disagree with that. So all of these things are happening when we are in worry. When they say evil eye, you are not giving a divine eye to something, which means you are not in divine vision. What happened to Arjun when he got divine vision? In Bhagavad Gita, when Arjun was gifted the divine vision or Divya Drishti, and when Sanjaya, who was also narrating the Bhagavad Gita's incidents and all of that to Dhritarashtra, who was blind, Sanjaya was the charioteer of Dhritarashtra from the Kaurava side, and um, Arjun, both of them got it, right? Then initially when God showed his Vishwaroop, when Krishna showed his Vishwaroop, Arjun was not able to see it. Then God remembered, oh yeah, I have to give you the Divya Drishti. And then he gave him, so which means he gave him a third eye vision where he was able to, he raised his consciousness for that purpose. It was not like Arjuna had done sadhana and he raised his consciousness. No, he had to still learn a lot to get to that level, but time for temporary basis, Krishna gave him that vision. And when he got that vision, he was able to see a lot of, he was able to see the God in all forms, in every, like omnipresence of God, he was able to see. But then when you call evil eyes, in that level of anxiety, what kind of drishti you have, what kind of perception you have to see the world in front of you? We have absolutely a negative perception. We will see flaws in everything. We will think wrong about everything. As opposed to seeing good in everything, we will see bad in everything. So this is called an evil eye. It has nothing to do with superstitious, oh, I will put my eye on that and that will actually something will go wrong. No. When you, even that drishti they used to take like this, no, that was also because of that only. It was saying, oh, somebody has put their evil eye on you and then I'm going to take it away. It is just all a belief system. So which means I am in that high energy. I'm going to take away that from you. And then I'm going to release it through these knuckles. It was more like that. It was a belief system. So either way, what they're trying to tell is, if you are in a position to look at good in everything, then good will happen. Good will happen to somebody else also who you are willing to see. If you're seeing good in somebody, if you're seeing doing gratitude for somebody, see, everybody is a reflection of you only, right? If that experience and that person, if you're seeing flaws in them, you will continue to see flaws in them. And the experiences that they bring will actually again continue to be like that only. But then even in gratitude practice, even in the magic book, what they have told, see good in the other person. Even if it's little, start seeing good in the other person. So for even in the person who you're worrying for, being anxious for, you are anxious, you are worried because of your own ignorance. It is not because the experience is bad. So what's the problem here? It is our own thought. Our own way of looking at things is wrong. Wrong, I can't say it's wrong. It is more of, it needs to be educated. One needs to be educated about coming from that ignorant state to a knowledgeable state. So nothing in the world is bad. No experiences are bad. But we seeing that with our own belief system makes it bad. So that is called an evil. You're putting an evil eye on something means you're, instead of going to a higher state of your own perception, you're seeing it from a lower state. Okay. So don't look at that evil eye in terms of superstitions and all of those things. Look at it more from this kind of view. Like Arjuna had a Divya Drishti. Do I have a Divya Drishti now? No. Divya Drishti today, let's say if I had a Divya Drishti, I should be able to see God in all in the chair, windows, thing and all of that. I should be able to, it's not about seeing Krishna everywhere. It's more about perceiving the God. Oh yes, the knowing that there is God everywhere. It's the inner knowing. It is not about seeing, not seeing through this eyes. It is about inner knowing, inner, like you'll like really surely know that in everything there is God. That is Divya Drishti. And he got it. He was able to see his own life in that form. But the person with evil eye or whatever he's talking about, he's saying the one who you will worry for, don't actually make it worst. it's your experience that is coming to you, right? So don't make it more worst by going to that lower energies. Stay in the higher energy, then at least you will be able to perceive different things. Your reality will change when you are in a higher state, is what he's saying. Okay. So hence, when you really are, I think this quote that I sent recently also, if you really want something badly in your life, let it go. Surrender. If I want this bottle very badly in my life, I should not hold on to it with my energy, my negative energy. I should let it go so that God's positive energy can actually hold on to it and give it to me. Right? So if you want anything badly, let it go. If you want somebody to prosper in your experience badly, don't think negatively about them. If you want your children to get better in your own life, if you think, let's say for now you think you don't have an understanding that experience is happening good, everybody is good and all that. Let's say they are really suffering in their life, in your perspective. At least from your own perspective, at least don't put that lower thoughts. So what if they fail? What if they run away? What if they commit suicide? Don't think like that. At least with whatever you can do, try to send positive vibes in your experience. You are that God, you are that creator. If you were the king of earth, would you spread poison in your own community, in your own kingdom? In your own kingdom. They say God's kingdom, right? In the Bible, they say it's God's kingdom. If you are the God, will you spread poison in your own kingdom? Will you make people die in your own kingdom? You won't do that, right? So everybody you see and experience in your kingdom is your own reality, which means you have only asked for those experiences. You have only created a contract with those people to come and then do all this drama. All of that you only have done. Obviously, you can't only go and then put. So, so have that kind of feeling that if you want to do good for somebody, then send good vibes. Okay, next question. I am blessed with abundance. I receive a good salary. Oh, this is the person who said that she has enough work, but she thinks that she's not working hard enough to deserve some money. Let's say she's getting 10,000 rupees or something. But then, let's say 3/4 of the day she's sitting idle in the office and there is not much work. And she thinks 10,000 rupees is too much for her. What is this? I'm just hardly sitting in the office and I really got 10,000 rupees and I'm getting a bonus also on top of this and I'm getting appreciation also and I'm getting, let's say, stocks and shares and all of those kinds of things. Do I really deserve this? Maybe somebody who's working hard, that colleague of mine who's working day in and day out in the production support, maybe he should deserve all of this. So this is also something I keep telling my older one. She's like, oh my God, I'm so privileged. I'm so privileged. I have good parents. I have all of this. They have sent me abroad. All of this she'll keep, and I have such great friends. I'm getting good food here also. All of that she's saying. And then she compares herself to somebody who doesn't have that. And she says, why can't they have it? Why God gave me so much? And I tell her, when God gives you, take it. Why did you get it? Because you deserve it. Some she has learned some lessons in her life. That's why that lesson is not coming. Now the lesson that is coming is to also be humble, and accept whatever is coming and not blame about that also. See, these are extremes that we need to think about. It's not like people always complain about not having something. People also complain about having something. It's also an extreme in duality. It's not about, so it's about being in the center. Yes, I have problems and I accept that. Yes, I may have financial crunch, but that's okay. I have enough money to eat my food, to be in a shelter. And it's okay. I'm able to pay my bills. That is also a way of thinking. Instead of saying, oh my God, I hardly get enough money. Then there is another extreme where people think I have so much. Why am I getting so much? That is also an extreme case only. So there is also an imbalance there. So typically what will happen is a positive imbalance will eventually attract a negative imbalance also in our life. So hence, there also we need to see a trigger. We need to watch that trigger. Because we are disturbed, no? Wherever we see disturbance in our being, there is a trigger. And here also the person is disturbed. I'm not getting enough work. So instead of that, the person should be looking, seeing, yeah, I'm a mother. I'm also able to take care of my children. I'm being there for my children more. I'm being there for the house more. I'm able to cook good dishes, because there are so many IT professionals who are having money, who may not have the time to cook for their family, be there for the family. They have so much of money there. And think about them. God has given you, put you in this position where you can use your time for something else instead of cribbing that I don't deserve this money. Use your time for something else. If you're not able to get anything, at least be grateful. So bring gratitude in every situation. Then you'll see the love for God, love that God has for you in everything. Like today, I can, in the same situation, a relative of mine doesn't have a caretaker, same leg operation only. Their physiotherapist is not good. They are complaining. But I can say, oh my God, I have all of these things. Why can't she also have? That is not my choice to say. When that experience comes, how I perceive it, only I have a choice. I have the choice to either react or respond to an experience. That's all is my free will. There is nothing more than that. I can't even create an experience. That also God only is giving. So what can I do? I can only see some experience coming to me and I can respond appropriately. So when that experience came where everything was not okay, when she was saying that everything was not okay, the situations in the house were not okay, all I can say is, I'm grateful for whatever I got. That's all we can do. Be grateful for whatever you have, because I didn't get God. It's not like God loves me more or something. For him, all the children are the same. It's just that maybe energy is more, gratitude practice is more, or whatever is the reason. I don't even know why we get some things. Bhagavad Gita says it's prarabdha. Bhagavad Gita says you have earned it. You have earned it in your previous lives. That is why you are getting this. It's in your own account that you have. That is why you're getting it. It's not like it is you are some special kid or something. That is why God gave you this. No, there are no special children. We have to just earn it with our constant acknowledgement and gratitude and thank you, and in everything say thank you. So this is, be grateful. Again, I would say be grateful for to that person who told this. Okay, that is one. Where is this? Lost it. Yeah. So that is about. Then the next experience is, this is regarding my mom-in-law's expectations from us financially for her luxuries. They earn a decent amount, 30K per month, and living in a town, and my husband bears all the bills like phone, water, and all that. And still they expect amount for trips, jewelry, etc. And things like giving a lavish party to all the occasions like their grandchildren's birthdays. And if I start talking, it will bring a big fight. Their feeling is that the property which they earned will be ours after they pass away. So it is our responsibility to pay them, or it's not wrong for them to ask or demand. See, when, like I said, in this case also, experiences are there. We can't even question experiences. Experiences are coming to teach us a lesson. Every time I refer to God, just replace that with my soul created this experience. Okay, soul is nothing but an essence of God. So when I am in that soul state before I incarnated into the body and all, in that level of wisdom, in that level of awareness, absolutely divine vision, I created these experiences for myself. Okay, when I say God, that is what we have to think about. So God gave these experiences, or God created these experiences. Mom-in-law is asking this, whatever. All of these experiences are coming. When we have constantly made a habit to judge somebody else. Why do we judge somebody else? Why do we say, I don't like this, I like this, or because we have created preferences in our life. Preferences means I prefer that life go this way. I prefer that this comes to me in this way only. So those are called preferences. So when we have preferences in our life, we will have every single experience to break those preferences. Because if ego is comfortable, God is going to make every experience break that comfort, because we can't grow with those comforts. So it is important that these are universal principles, that we can't evolve with a growing ego. We evolve only when the ego is diminishing. The more we go higher, ego has to go down. If this is 50-50 at one point, ego, God, the divine vision or the divine awareness that is inside you, if it is 50-50 at some point, the God stuff, the spiritual awareness that you have, the self-realization awareness that you have will go higher. Ego has to go lower. It will become 60-40. This will not become like this. It is the process of evolution. We cannot, it's like it is going to squeeze us. Life is going to squeeze us, do all of this to us, and then ego will go down. And for ego to go down, ego has to realize that it is not in my control. Only then ego will go down. Everything you'll try to do in your life, you'll try to control and blame and push and pull and all of that, but nothing will work. Then only ego will think, oh my God, yes, I have nothing in my control and somebody else is controlling this. And then you will like, I can't do anything. You'll come with that kind of attitude, right? Then only it is like almost acceptance. Then, okay, God, do whatever you want. I don't think I have a choice. That is surrender. You have to get to a point where you say, I have nothing in my control. I've done everything. Ego will not give up, which is why we can't go to 100% so easily, no acceptance. Because ego will do its best to keep trying all kinds of things. One day it will realize I have nothing in my ideas. None of my ideas are working. It is doing backfiring job. It is actually backfiring and nothing is working. Then when that nothing is working idea comes to you only, ego will say it, ego will be open to any other idea that it does not already have, which is acceptance and surrender. It has to accept. It has to go to that level of acceptance. Then surrender will come naturally. It will see God as a power character. You are more powerful than me. It will see like that, and only then it will surrender. So in every aspect of your life, you should be able to see God as the powerful being who is actually doing something more than what you cannot do. Then only you'll accept somebody as a individual who is okay to manage your life. And hence, in this case also, when we constantly blame our in-laws and all of those kinds of things, see these luxuries that we are talking about. Oh, my husband, they already earn 30K per month plus, but they depend on my husband to do all of these kinds of things. See, this money is not even ours. We are just holders of a certain amount of money or luxury or whatever. Do you even call this as yours? For example, take stock market. Let's say portfolio has, let's say 10 lakhs or something like that. Tomorrow, if the market crashes at 10 lakhs is not yours at all. It's gone. Similarly, the money today you have. Tomorrow, let's say somebody got admitted in the hospital. ICU. That's it. It will go like this. 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 30 lakhs. Just goes off like this. Now, what about the money? It's gone. So money can come, money can go. It is not yours. If it was yours, you have every right to say, it's mine, I can't give you. But will you do that? Even if you do that also, it will go off. Let's say your own husband is in the ICU. What will you do? Your own money only you have to put. So money is energy. Wherever there is abundance, money is. If you want to hold on to money, or if you want money to keep flowing in your life, you have to be willing to part with money also. You should be able to say thank you for money that is coming in and thank you for the money that is going out. For the money that is going out, you should be grateful because it was already with you, which is why it went out. You are able to pay for something because it was already inside you. It was with you. Hence, be grateful. I already had that kind of money, which is why I was able to give. That attitude is going to keep the money flowing and not hoarding, complaining, blaming. And there is nothing about in-laws' money, my money, their money. It will not work. Trust me, this kind of mentality is going to always keep us in that money problem. It is always, there will always be situations to break that ego of ours. And when they say that there is one sentence which says, the more you judge somebody, the more you'll find reasons to judge somebody. So the more we hate our in-laws, the more we will find reasons to keep hating them. And this is like that evil eye that we were talking about. So the more you put evil eye on somebody, or the more you have that not so divya drishti, or let's say negative drishti on somebody, they will continue to keep acting like that, because the more you need lessons, the more POSCs will come to keep giving. They'll become more and more powerful to keep giving you more and more lessons. Understood what I'm saying? If you are not learning, the teacher will become more strong. The teacher will give you tougher and tougher lessons. So the smartness is in actually coming back to gratitude and seeing what is it that you're here. If your in-laws are able to love your grandchildren, see gratitude in it. If your in-laws have actually given you a good husband, it is because they have given you a good, they have raised their son like that. If you're able to get a supportive husband, it is because they have raised that son like that. Your son has not just become good because of some thin air or something. And see God's hand in that. What if you had an abusive husband and an abusive set of in-laws? Feel grateful for at least having a supportive husband. And if your husband is actually willing to support your in-laws, how long will he support? Another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? They're already probably in their 60s and 70s. Another 30 years. Nobody lives 100 to 100 these days. Okay, another 20 years. So 20 years, your husband still has another maybe 20 years to do his career, or maybe another 10 years. So be be generous about money. Yes, there is a thin line between being very generous, overly generous, that extreme version that I'm talking about, overly generous, and being generous for wherever it needs. And yes, if we see things like birthday parties and all of those things as lavish spending, but some of these things as not lavish, when we categorize the spending, the mind doesn't understand the difference between spending for a vegetable and fruit or spending for a shoes. It really does not know the difference. It sees whether when you're spending, do you have gratitude in your mind? That's all it sees. Do you have gratitude in your mind when you're spending for a birthday party? Do you have gratitude in your mind when you're spending for fruits? It will see both equally, because your mind is the same. There is nothing like a partition inside your mind. Gratitude is gratitude. Lack is lack. Stingy, stingy. And then all of these things play an important role. And I think the message that I want to give for this particular question is, you have to, if you are smart enough, you have to watch your emotions. The more you go into blame game, um, the more you actually keep yourself in negativity, there is no way life will be positive for you, because you are asking for more lessons. You are not willing to see lessons that are actually being thrown at you like this, being showered on you like this. So it is very important that you need to come back to gratitude. See that small, like I said, look for that needle in a haystack, I said, right, in the first part of the topic. So look for that needle in the in-laws. And many times this will not come, because I've been there. I've been there where I've not really been able to see good in people. But today, if I'm able to stand and say that because of them in my life, I became a strong character. I became a person who's way more matured because of the challenges that they give. And because of that, I was able to become a practitioner. So all of this happened. And today, because I've learned my lessons, they are not giving me challenges. They are actually giving me so much support that I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Why is all of this coming? Because I changed my perception. And this happened because of all of the practices, like blessings, surrender, chanting. It took time. It's not an overnight process, but start somewhere. Start somewhere and keep going day after day, day after day, day after day, day after day. It will show. And people who've done gratitude practice, we know within a month you'll start seeing stuff. If you are willing to change yourself, you will see the progress very, very fast. Okay. This is the next one is, for the last 3 weeks or so, I don't know what is making me feel low, but some unknown or past emotions are making me heavy. When I get hurt by somebody, I weep for a while and feel lighter for a day or two, still having the same feeling. Whether the energy comes, when this energy comes, I get constipated regarding. So again, this is also because we don't have a daily spiritual practice. If we have earned this much of positive energy through sleeping or something, see, on a daily basis, if we are not doing anything, we are running on battery. We are running on battery, like our cell phone. In the night, if if you are connecting it to a power cord and then charging the cell, then it becomes 100%, let's say by morning. Then from morning, if you're using it, by night, it will become, let's say, 5%, 2%, 3% or something. Now, if you're not charging in between the day, it will definitely be 2%, 3% by the time by the time day ends. So what should we do? Because that 2%, 3%, 7%, 15% is not keeping you happy, and you're feeling low, you're feeling sad and all of those things. Because if you're in the cell phone, if you have to watch daily some classes and videos and all of those things, it will drain the battery even further, faster. So if you know that in your life that you're constantly getting to low battery very fast, what should you do? You need to charge your phone frequently in a day. Then you will also be able to see 50% by the end of the day. Now, how do we charge our phone? By plugging into a socket. What is coming from the socket? Electricity. Electricity was always there. Plug also was always there. But you had not connected your cell phone to it. So what should we do in our life? If we have to plug into God, who is the electricity of our life, we have to spend some time for connecting to God, thanking God, gratitude to God, chanting, all of these things. Otherwise, it is a very, very common, or what do you say, a very logical thing to happen that I'm drained out. When we sleep only, we get charged. Next day, again, if you don't do anything, it will be the same. Every day you're feeling low means you have to understand the pattern. So every day I'm actually losing my charge. Because whatever is happening in my life, I'm draining it by reactive modes. See, reaction is a drain. Response is a neutral state. It is not going to drain your battery. But what is going to increase your battery is connecting to God. So that increase to, it's okay if we maintain a neutral state, responding positively with applying that knowledge, acceptance, surrender, all that is okay. But that is not going to raise you so much as you bringing in energy by all of this chanting and all of those things. So it's very important that you have a routine in place on a daily basis to keep connecting to God very often. And gratitude is a great way. Chanting is a great way because you don't have to sit and do. See, meditation is there. For people who sit and meditate, great. But I don't really have that kind of, what do you say, as of now, I don't have. I used to do meditation. But now I've accepted the situation that I can't sit and do meditation. Even if I do that 5 minutes, 10 minutes that I told you about Kriya Yoga, that much only. There also, there is one meditation practice after that, which is actually what is meditation. But I'm not doing that because there is so much of demand on my time. But if I have to meet that demand, I can't say, oh, I don't have time to connect to God. If I say that, that's it. My battery will become drained and I will start seeing problems in everything. It's not like suddenly, oh, I'm seeing positivity in everything. Same person seeing negativity in everything. Yes, it's the same person. Why? Because my energy went down. Yes, I can go from a saint to a sinner on the same day because I drained my battery. So a person who is like this also has to maintain to be there. He cannot say, Yeah, I was here, so now I know everything about being here. I will, when I come down also, I know how to be there. No, knowledge will not help you. Intellect, you will not cooperate with you. Your mind will not listen to you. So don't depend on any of those things. You have to depend on your habits. You are as strong as your habits. And those habits are going to keep you safe. Even when your mind is not working, even when your intellect is not guiding you, even when your knowledge is not actually making any sense. So this is only going to help you. You should say, oh, these are the tools I need to use when nothing is working. Chanting, gratitude. Gratitude also next. Just chanting, where brain only doesn't have to be used. You just have to keep saying, keep chanting. You don't have to even understand chanting. I've spoken a lot about chanting in my previous classes. So have a spiritual routine. Otherwise, your battery is going to become low. Then I have doubt regarding connecting our emotions with menstrual cycle. I'm justifying my lower emotions when I'm nearing my cycles, as there is a belief system about pre-menstruation syndrome. I think I spoke about this. When I'm working on one side on acceptance, I'm justifying myself that their behavior of mine is okay when I'm nearing my cycle. Sometimes I seek validation from my fellow women on this. So I think I also spoke about this, which Pavitra asked. See, irrespective of whether we are in menstrual cycle or whether our hormones are low, whatever may be the case, everything is meant to happen because we are not controlling anything. It is meant to happen. Just think that it was meant to happen. It is meant to happen. It is the way it is. It is what it is. So we can give different analysis. Oh, because she did this, menstruation is like this. Because she didn't do this, we have all of this analysis we can do. But who will prove that whatever I'm telling is right? Can we prove it? We can't prove it. But we definitely know that experiences are coming. We can see it, no? Our mood is shifting and all of that. So it also means that if you are having a, let's say, an imbalanced state during the menstruation cycle, it is because you have also created a belief system that during menstruation these things will happen. So why shouldn't you actually take this as a cue and do a lot more gratitude practice before the menstruation itself, and then start working on the same momentum instead, because we know that blaming somebody else for what you have, or telling that my body is like this, that is why I have a every right to be nasty to other people, every right to be angry at other people, every right to be moody, every right to throw my trash around. No, it is not right. So you should be able to take ownership for what you are believing as well. So if you are believing that, and you can't just say, oh yeah, this is happening, it's not in it's not in my control, I can't do anything about it. No, you have everything in your control, because we created that. So if we created that, we can also change that. And that is only by accepting that I created it, I can change it. And accept that I only created this kind of a belief system. So go ahead and change it. Go ahead and say that I will do gratitude, and then be willing. And then when experiences come, see what's the trigger. See what is the trigger that is constantly triggering you during menstruation. And then drink a lot of juices. If you're able to do some of these things, juices are very important, because juice is a liquid medium, right? So when liquid medium goes into a solid medium like our body, it raises our vibration, because you know that they have their own what do you say, juices that are coming from plants. They are high in energy, they are alive, and when they get into our body vibrates along with them. They sort of match the vibrations. So start drinking a lot of juices on a daily basis. Have a habit of keeping a clean body. A dehydrated body is like a river that is not flowing. It'll have mosquitoes and this and that and all of that inside. So you need to you should urinate more every day. If you're urinating more, that is a sign to say that your body is actually cleaning itself, and it's like a river that is flowing. A river that is flowing is also clean. And emotions also get released with a lot more liquids inside the body. So have at least 3 liters to 4 liters. Even if you're not having juices, at least have 3 to 4 liters of water every single day. So don't blame anything. Apply the principles and start working in areas that you really can. Have fruits. Have See, many fruits, vegetables, greens, and all, they are not healing you, but they are assisting you to go to a higher vibration. So let us take their assistance and then put a lot more effort from our side also to use chanting, gratitude. So it's all a mix of all of these things that we need to go to a higher state. It is not just one factor. We need to bring in different ways of going there. Then the experience here will be able to, when you see the experience here, you will be in a better perception to respond to it. Okay. So that is about this. Hi, Smita. I'm not sure if I can ask you this kind of question. I will keep it short. Um, we bought a house 2 years back. It was purely my husband's wish to buy a house here and settle down. But my in-laws think and believe that I made him do this. She's extremely a possessive woman. Her son, and all her earnings and whatever we have should be under her control. Though my husband was not willing to take her consent, I made him take her consent before. See, when you look at the second paragraph, first paragraph, she doesn't like her in-laws. But then when she doesn't like the in-laws and the kind of, let's say, talking that they give, the ego thinks that I don't like whatever is going to come from that in-laws side if they are upset. So let me take a step ahead and try to do something that they might like. That way they will not send me these kind of upsetting messages. So what did she do? Though my husband was not willing to take her consent, okay, I made him to take her consent. So which is like saying, see, I kept you in good books. She did not say anything at that time. She was silently went into revenge mode. See, it is, and then they basically she's saying that many people, she keeps sending many people to our house, and then I have a lot of time managing those people. See, the whole point that we have to remember is the world is our reflection, and POSEs reflect, are trained or designed. POSEs are bodies, right? That body is controlled by God. Everybody's body is controlled by God. And today, if I can be happy, tomorrow I can be sad. So was it in my control? No, it was not in my control. Because of my habits, I behaved like that. It's all happening. So if I am not able to remember that the world is my reflection and it is going to show me a bindi here, if I have a bindi here, we can't help it. It's like if I have a bindi here and I look at my face, I'm seeing a bindi there. So if I have judgment here, if I have all of those things here, I'm going to see that there also. If I'm seeing flaws in somebody, I will continue to see flaws in them. And they will continue to show me those flaws. They are designed to be like that. And if this kind of setup is not working, first we need to agree that I am the one who needs to change. If I am in step one, and if I have all of these people in my life who's giving me a certain kind of experience, I have to go here to be able to see a different experience. I have to raise my vibrations to go see a different experience. And they will come and show me according to where I am. I can be here also. They will come to show me where I am. They will show based on where I am. Here I might probably need to learn for anger. Here I might need to learn based on fear because it's a different frequency. Here I might need to learn something else, suffocation or frustration or irritation or something. So we have to go. If we have to go from one point to another point, how will I go there? Today I can't see anything good in my in-laws. Even if I do anything, I can't see good in my in-laws. So the very first thing that we have to do is accept that I'm 100% responsible for my own life. Nobody will change. Nobody is designed to change. POSCs are like puppets. They are like dolls. They are not going to change. You are the only one who will change. If you saw a different experience in your POSC, it is because you went higher. It is not because POSCs changed. Here, if you had a bad experience, you went here. That's why you can't see it anymore. The POSC here is now giving you a better experience because The version of POSCs in every single frequency are different. If you come drop down here, again, you'll see bad in them. If you climb up here, you'll see good in them. You drop down, you'll see bad. You'll see climb up, you'll see good. So where do you want to be? You want to be here? Stay here. Do things to stay here. So it is important to remember that you are the one who is actually shifting from one frequency to another frequency. You cannot expect people to change. You can blame in-laws. You can do anything. I have done it. I have been there, and I have literally poisoned my life through my own hateful emotions. And I have literally seen death with two little children, 5 years, 8 years, looking at me on the bed, suffering. And only because of them, I think I got that inspiration to change myself. But even when I actually started to change myself, it was not that I had great feelings for my in-laws. But when I started to share what I already knew with the world, and somehow positivity came and all of that, then I was able to see problems because of me, because of my way of thinking, I saw problems in them. That I was able to realize. And then I knew I had to work on myself. There was so much of inner resistance to even do good for, say, be blessed also for my in-laws. Say, say thank you also to my in-laws. Mentally, not even physical. Physically, forget. Mentally also, I was not able to say thank you. Initially, I had to tell myself, this is for me, this is for me, this is for me. I have to do this for myself. Then only it came. And then it shifted. Today, I literally see Annapurneshwari in her. And she's also like that. Why? Because here she was a wicked woman. Here, she's a goddess. If I have to, and I made this change for 14 years, sorry, 8 years. It took me 8 years to get here. But gradually, I definitely saw. Maybe 6th year, 7th year, it was definitely there. But 8th year, it is actually way better. 10th year, I'm sure it will be even more better. So we have to go. If you don't like an experience, and if you're not even understanding how to change, how to learn from that experience, you have to work on yourself. And tools are already shared. Gratitude, this, that, surrender, acceptance, all that tools are already shared. How will it help if you blame somebody? Who is there to come and solve that problem? Is there anybody that you can think of? What will Smita do in that problem? What will she tell? Can I go and tell her in-laws anything? Can I go tell the husband anything? Can I go tell her to do anything? All I can tell is you have to work on your own evolution. Go higher. There is that in-laws. There is a husband where there is harmony also. So that is all I can tell. There is no other way that it's going to happen. And right. And so because of that, what she is also saying is my in-laws are sending relatives to my house. That's an assumption. Okay, let's say even if they are telling, okay, so and so will come, so and so will come. Atithi Devo Bhava. We have that in our every single literature, I think scripture they have told Atithi Devo Bhava. Atithi Devo Bhava means the one who comes to your house and you serve somebody is God himself, is Narayan himself, is God himself. Because how often do we get an opportunity to serve somebody? Yeah, in her case, maybe very often. Because you have to serve somebody, and in the past, they may have served you all. See, in on earth, it is very, very calculative. With relationships, the way relationships are formed, it's all a accounting thing. It's all a give and take. It's all a balance sheet. There is always plus, there is always minus. If somebody has done a plus in the past, this time you are doing the plus to them. If somebody has done a minus, there is always a minus. There is always, because you are learning from each other. It's not a bad system. It is a system to help each other manage those give and takes. So if you are putting food to somebody else on the table today, it is because they put that food to you on some other day or in some other life. It's like every single experience is not a coincidence. There are no coincidences. If that experience is coming, it is because you have to do it. You have to be there. For example, I think I've already told this in the past. If there is nobody to come and help you in the kitchen because there is so much of work, and let's say the green gram has fallen all over the floor, and there is a class. 10 minutes you have to take a call, or you have an appointment, you have a meeting, and the maid is going to come, and she's not going to clean all that, and she's going to avoid cleaning that kitchen also. There are so many different things that can happen like that. But if there is nobody who's coming to help you, you can't blame your husband, you can't blame your children at that time, because if they had to come, if that was in your soul plan, they would have come. They would have been there for you in that moment. But if they are not there with you in that moment, it is because they are not meant to be there in that moment. It is for you to learn and say, yes, it's okay, I can still do it. I can always tell my meeting people that I'll be 5 minutes late, or just put everything in that corner. Later on, you can wash it quickly, maybe under the fridge, whatever has fallen, you don't have to clean for now. Or you can tell your maid, don't clean the kitchen for now, I'll take care of it later after the meeting. You will find ideas to somehow manage that. Like this may not be perfectly, you'll be able to do some balancing act, and then you'll be able to manage it, provided you accept that it's okay that nobody is going to come and help you. Similarly, if somebody is coming to your house, it is not an accident, it is meant to happen. How you perceive that experience is really going to matter for your evolution. You can definitely say, my in-laws are very mean, they keep sending people so that they can make us poor, so that we can keep feeding these people, and then lose all our money in just serving guests. It is not going to happen. If you are destined to serve guests, you will also have a backup of money, which is going to be given by the same God, because it's meant to happen. If it's meant to happen that you will let's say go to zero balance because you're feeding somebody, that is meant to happen there also. So we can't do this. We can't control experiences, but we can control the perception, we can control the meaning that we give to that experience. It was meant to happen, it will continue to keep coming because you don't like it. It will continue to keep coming because you don't like it, because you think there is a cunning plan by your in-laws. It's not going to help, even if you say, because who's going to change this for you? If you want to live with this kind of thought process, and if you don't feel poisoned by that, then you will not change. Only if you feel poisoned and you feel that I need to think properly, I need to see good in everything, that has to come. And if that is not coming, blindly start chanting. Blindly start chanting. Or at least if you can go to the next step, start seeing good in other things. Yeah, I have the house in the US. Maybe I have a good husband. I have let's say, clean roads. I have a car. I have let's say, food to eat on the table. Some small things. I'm able to breathe. That's something that we can definitely think. Today I got up. I didn't die. I didn't make my son or child an orphan. I got up. God made me get up early in the morning. Start from something like literally basic that we don't even think of on a daily basis. So gratitude and chanting, somehow keep using this a lot. Otherwise, truly, people who are coming to your house, nobody is either grateful about me or positive about me, because you are not positive and grateful for anything. See, what we send out to the world in terms of thoughts and vibrations is what we will receive back, because you are only seeing a reflection. If you wear a black dress and look at yourself in the mirror, you will see a black dress only. If you wear a white dress and look at the mirror, you will see yourself in the white dress. So because of all the gratitude work that I'm doing, I'm able to do more gratitude. I'm able to think of more reasons to be grateful. And those reasons, I didn't create those experiences. It is coming. Why? Because I've made a habit to express gratitude. God is giving me more experiences to keep expressing gratitude. If I keep condemning somebody, if I keep blaming something, he will give me more reasons to keep blaming, keep condemning. Because that's a reflection. Because you asked for it, he gave it. So you need to change. That there is no two ways about it. There is only one way, which is you changing. Okay, the next one is, yeah. Whenever one goes through a loss of a loved one, maybe any form of loss, financial or relationship issues or forces, as we address it now, one goes through a different stage of acceptance and then surrender to it as an experience Earth is going through each of us who are a spark of consciousness. Sometimes self-pity creeps in some form or the other and takes over the mind. One sees it, yet don't know how to deal with it. See, it's not bad to have, you have at least reached a stage where you know you are in self-pity. You have identified a trigger. That's a very good progress. Many people don't even come to a stage that something is getting triggered within me only. So you have come to a stage which is, you've identified that there is self-pity within you, which is okay. It's okay. It's not wrong to have anything inside you. You had it because you created those experience, you created a habit for it to have it, or to create a self-pity and all of that in some past experiences, not just this life, some other life also. So let's say you have it, which is a good thing. Good thing in the sense, identifying is a good thing. When you're in acceptance. So now what you do, when that self-pity comes, just recognize it. I have it. I have it. Okay, thank you. I'll surrender it to you. And then it's like it's like saying, yeah, I have an apple. Okay, I'm going to give you that apple. And give God that apple and move on. Don't don't linger and say, oh, self-pity is bad, this is bad, that is bad. I'm not worthy if I have all of these things inside me. Don't go into that thing at all. Just give it off, hand it over to God, which is surrender to God, and let him deal with the cage. The idea is you have to identify the trigger that has come in and you have to give it off. You have to give it off, hand it over to God. He is the one who melts the cage. You are just a person who will identify what you have and keep identifying. Every time trigger comes, identify, give it back. Identify, give it back. Identify, give it. So then only a cage is going to melt. Okay. So now once you're in self-pity, you know you're in self-pity, hand it over to him and move on with your life. Don't judge yourself that self-pity is bad and all of that. It's not like you are now a black person, your color changed or something because now you have self-pity. No, don't see yourself like that. Don't see yourself when you have fear inside you, when you found out that you have anxiety inside you, when you have judgment inside. You're not a colored person, you're not any different. You are the reason why we accept all of these things is to say, yes, I have all of this, yes, I have this, yes, I have this. Despite that, I'm accepting that I'm still a god, the divine essence. That is called self-realization. Self-realization means accepting everything about yourself. See, now if you see Vishnu, Lakshmi, Jesus, so many people, so many Allah, like there are so many different forms of God. Why do we have to say that there are so many forms of God? Aren't we accepting that there are so many forms of God? But whereas there is one single God. Similarly, we have different forms inside us also. We are just saying we are still the same God. Yes, there is Ganesha, there is a God behind him. He's, although he appears in the form of Ganesha. Yes, there is a God behind Vishnu also. He appears in the form of Vishnu. There is a Krishna, there is a Jesus, there is, let's say, Allah. Everything. There is one single form of God. He can appear in different forms. Similarly, we are saying, yes, there is fear inside me, but I'm still that same God. Then that peace will come. So you identified your self-pity, hand it over to God. Then he will take care of it and then do some paint job or patch up and whatever, he'll melt the cage and release that energy. So every time you accept and hand it over to him, that self-pity's little bit portion is now gone. You're releasing that self-pity. You're liberated from that portion of self-pity that you held within you. So you have actually attained self-realization of self-realization of that portion of self-pity which you held as limitation within you. Now that portion is gone, you are that much self-realized. Right? Self-realization happens in installments. Little, whatever you focus on and say acceptance. Every time you're accepting and surrendering, that much you got self-realization. One day, That will be the last one that you have to do. Then 100% self-realization you will become. Then it's only like only God realization. But by the time you get to that small portion, you're already experiencing God. One more step, it will be like that. Okay. So we are going in installments. Self-realization is an installment process. It is not a overnight process. And every single day we are working towards that self-realization. And in self-realization, it's not like something drastic you'll not die or anything. You'll just be doing the same job. You'll still be with the same children. You'll still be going to school as a teacher. You'll still be a banker, but you are not disturbed. You are seeing peace everywhere, harmony everywhere. In all of the experiences, you're not disturbed. You're only you're in the response mode. You're not at all in the reactive mode. Because no fear, no judgment, no anxiety, nothing is there. And even if the fear related situation comes also, you are not in fear, because there is no, you finished all of that, you released all that. It was not, so that reflection that you're going to see outside you will always reflect purity, will always reflect positivity, because you are inside like that. That light will shine. Okay. So then next one, I lost my husband. That one, no, over. Last one. Thank you for providing. Oh, I think I don't know. I lost my husband 4 years back due to COVID. I have two boys, 26 and 21 now. We weaved our way mentally, physically, financially together. Good, so not good days. Okay, she's been a great single mother. And then acceptance of situations. Oh, sorry. Especially initial days, we were shook with grief and non-acceptance, and attended birthday parties and functions are not being the same. I'm calling it self-pity. Again, self-pity. So I think the same person asked these two things, which is okay. I think I've explained that. See, self-pity is a way, or it's a coping mechanism. Just the meaning of self-pity is a coping mechanism that we have built. We have habits. We have created a habit. Why do you have so much of self-pity? Because you have created a habit of coping towards experiences that are coming to you and saying, yo, Papa, yes, I am so Papa. I'm so Papa. I deserve better. I deserve better. We are feeling for ourselves. It's a way, it's a way of for your ego to console itself. It's called a coping mechanism. But even that is not going to help. And now you realize that, which is why you are in the acceptance class and self-pity is coming out. In the past also self-pity came out, but you didn't release it. You were in resistance. But now you are in acceptance. Because now is the time, expiry date has come for self-pity, and it is going to eventually get out of your life. You will not be self-pity. My husband used to, in the initial days of my marriage, when I used to constantly keep saying, I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that, my in-laws are not able to allow me to do this, then he used to say, you have to take ownership and you have to do that work yourself. Nobody will come and do that for you. If you want something done, you take ownership and you do it. If you put self-pity and say, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting water, nobody will come and give you. What you want, you have to go take. So that is courage. Courage to stand up for yourself and courage to do the good, right things for yourself. So then if you do self-pity, courage will take the back seat. It is not going to drive your life. If you're driving in self-pity, then courage will go sit back. But if you allow courage to drive your life, then self-pity will not come. It will go sit back. So who is going to be on the driver's seat? You have to decide. Courage or self-pity. But from the class point of view, the meaning of self-pity is that. But then from a class point of view, accept that you have self-pity. Let it go like any other emotion. Any other emotion. Just let it go. Thank you for providing insights and of a different perspective. Look up for each pose. I was listening to all the classes. Now I'm revisiting, taking notes. It's a great thing. I'm here to get your perspective on a marital separation I had gone through. I was married in 2014. It was just lasting for 3 months. I conceived and situations expelled me out of their home. And it became a complex with the involvement of everybody's emotions. Then court proceedings and all happened. Now it's 5 years and son has now become 9 years old. She already also had a son, and the son has seen the dad only once in court. Other than that, feeling or an intuition keeps saying that they are going to get back together. My intuition always says that there's going to be a reconnect. I understand it may be due to my expectations as well, but this intuition is constantly keeps popping. Is this non-acceptance? See, why do we have a desire? When do we have a desire in mind? Desire is a way to have something inside our life. But when we here she feels that she has a lack of a husband being in her life and maybe a father for a son and all of that. So it's a very natural thing. We all have we can understand all that. But what is a way out? So she's asking for a way out. So what is a way out? Having a desire to get something and at the same time having a negative feeling for it will not get the desire in your life. I think the quote that said, right? If you want something badly, you need to let it go. You have to surrender it to God. You can't put your negative energies and hold on to that outcome where the husband is going to come and then reunite with you. This is an outcome. It's an outcome where he's going to come and reunite with me. I'm going to hold that with my negative energy. It's not going to work. So, what does surrender say? Surrender says that I am going to do my best, being a single mom, and I'm going to be grateful for the all the, let's say, whatever 1 or 2 years or whatever she had with him, 3 months or something. She says 3 months, 3 months of marriage, whatever little that she had, some experience she would have had. So little bit experience, some marriage kind of experience. If you can be grateful, be grateful. But at least maybe you, if your son has, if you have a great son, then whether you have a great son or no, I'm sure you have the only person that you have now, which is your son. And you can be grateful for him in your life. Without that husband, the son wouldn't have been born. So maybe the relationship with your son and you learning more from being a single mother is probably your soul experience. So we have to cook up reasons to say why we have to accept this life the way it is, instead of thinking about something that is not there. At that time, what the universe says is it can hear your thoughts. God hears our thoughts and all of that. So there is a experience waiting to happen. Yes, she has learned her experience. She has accepted that being a single mom, she's going to do all of these things. One day that husband is going to come back and he's going to come and say, I'm so sorry. I realized my mistake, which is why divorce has not happened so far. See, that is also a sign. Divorce has not happened so far. Even though they have been in court and all of the divorce has not happened. But she has left it. She has left it because things were not moving. So this is also a sign. If divorce had to happen, it had to happen long back. But it has not happened. Maybe it is not happening because you have not come into acceptance. Rather, it is not happening because he is probably going to come back into your life. And for that, you need to give up every single one bit of thought also that he's going to come back into your life. You need to appreciate what you have as the best before that next best is going to come into your life. For the best to, if you think something else is the best, you can't get it unless you think whatever is happening in my life currently is the best. That attitude of recognizing that today I have the best has to come before something else can come and you calling it the best. That is law of attraction. It says that. It says that unless you build that attitude of acceptance and appreciation and gratitude, I'm not going to give you more, because even if I give you, you have not developed that eye or that divya drishti to look at good in this. So even if I give you that, you will not recognize. You will say, cha, I thought my husband is going to be good at least after he joined me, but he turned out to be a drunkard. Now I have to manage my son also, I have to manage my husband also. Or he came into my life and I thought we are going to live happily, but he came into my life, he became a drunkard, and now he's fighting with me and abusing me and he's taking my money. There are so many possibilities that can happen after he comes back into your life also. But if you think that, if you, but what is that husband that you're expecting? Not that person who's going to fight with you, who's going to shout at you, who's going to have all of those dramas. But you will probably like a husband who's going to live harmoniously with you, nicely with your son, and have a good life, right? So if you want that kind of life back, then you need to drop all of the desires to get it back. Have that desire, but don't pursue that desire. Don't feel that you are like gone because if the desire doesn't work. It's called obsession. Attachment. Don't have attachment to the desire. Having desires is not wrong. Okay, remember this. Having desires is not wrong, but having an attachment to the desire is wrong. Attachment means if that is not there in my life will suffer. It is going to disturb me, and I can't live without that getting back. So that is called attachment. So desires are not bad. Attachment to the desires are bad. So you need to have a desire like that, that you're going to come back, nice and happy family and all, but drop the attachment and accept, work on putting a lot of work in accepting your current life the way it is. It is meant to be there. Experiences are here so that you can learn, and it is going to be there. It's like you can't question an experience because it is here because you have decided, God decided that it is meant for you. You can't change it in the highest wisdom that has been decided. And you have, at a soul level, you have agreed to that. So, which is why it is here in front of you. So many people have lost their husbands much earlier in their marriage with 2 children and all of that. And they turned out to be really very, very strong mothers over a period of time. Even with a little bit of depression in the beginning and all of that, they have stood up in their life. Perhaps that was your calling. You had to stand up. And if you forget about that husband and all of that, and you start managing your life as if you're a single mother, then you will turn out to be more strong. And especially when you thought that you don't need him anymore, you are like very well settled and all that, typically they come back at that time only. You'll be like, oh, actually, you know what? I didn't need you, but you came. Okay, fine. Let me see. It will be you have to get to that position. Only then he'll come back to you. Because when you really don't need that desire back in your life, usually that is when it comes back to you. That has been my experience in many, many situations. So that is what is the meaning of letting it go. You cannot even aspire to have it. It's a desire, let it be there. When it comes, it will happen. But you can't pursue it. You can't spoil your life thinking that it is not there and feel low, and all of that is basically messing up with your life. So you need to accept the current situation the way they are because it is meant to be. You cannot become an independent, strong, abled mother and all that if you're constantly depending on that husband and all of that for everything. If you're a very life journey was supposed to be that strong woman doing everything by yourself, working, and yeah, it's hard, it's difficult doing everything by yourself. But if that is what you've planned, you have to be accepting of the fact that this is what is my life. And that is a trigger. The trigger is to say that I have low self-esteem. I have no confidence on myself, which is why I'm feeling low when I think about my husband not being there in my life. So that is a trigger. So recognize the trigger, accept the trigger, give it off to God. Yeah, it's fine. I recognize God. Now you take it. Now I'm going to lead my life. Because day to day, you can't keep thinking about it, right? Life has to go on. Especially when you don't need that husband, only he's going to come back. Because now you don't need it. No, you're not obsessed with that desire. No, then only it will be given back. And then he'll come back in a nice way. Don't worry. Yeah, even if he come back in a nice way, sometimes triggers can come there also. Because from that husband related party, you might need to learn more at that point in time. Yeah, but then at least make a habit of learning from triggers and other things until that time. Okay, so I think I've closed all the questions we had. If you all have any more questions, you all can open up. I think you all can unmute yourself, no? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. You all can switch on your videos and ask if it is okay. Any questions so far?
Smita, I have a question.
Yeah, Ranjita.
Smita, you said God is giving us experiences, right? Like whatever the state that we are in, or whatever the responsibility or the duty that I have, sorry, 1 second, that we have is given to us by God, right? So it's our decision to either take it up The conviction is ours. Like either we have to show up or we step back. That decision is ours. But in your case, you said
Not about
as the
showing up or something. It's about emotionally how we are connecting with that. That's all. Not
okay.
physical actions. Physical actions will anyway, our body will be made to do anything that we have to do because that energy inside us will make us dance like a puppet.
Mm,
Showing
mm.
what meaning do you give to that experience is only is will make us grow or will not make us grow.
Okay. So, okay, my question is, see, I'm currently going through certain experience. Okay, so previously also I had a connect with you on that. So my realization and understanding and what I have applied is, whatever that has been given to me, the responsibility or the duty is given to me by God. I 100% agree to it because that is what my soul plan. I have 100% trust in that the process. So I'm just taking it. For that experience, I have to pursue that experience. I have to possess some skills. Okay, so I do not have such skills. How much ever I try, I feel like I don't have certain skills to do that, or pursue that experience. So
Job,
at that
it's a
time my,
job.
yeah, so my mind is saying, see, it is not the innate ability or the quality that you have to do this. Your innate ability is something else. Like that, my mind is talking to me. So it's not that I'm also grateful for, or I understood so many good things has happened for me to do that experience as well. But still, it's my thing. I'm not having or possessing that skill is what I understood when I go through this experience. So now I'm feeling like, I'm not, 100% giving my best to that because I don't have skills, but that is the need of the hour actually. Yeah, now I'm finding it is not right to stay in that, is what I'm feeling. What is your thought on this?
See, the
Like,
experience is anyway there. What is the meaning that we give the experience? You're saying, see, if there is a deep desire to not even do that, then you'll find every reason to say that I won't do it. Every new job that we get, we are not good at it, right? We have to, for example, today I went to gym and I have not usually gone to group classes. And today there was some dancing kind of class, some high-low aerobics or something like that. I went to group class because my mother's need was there. So I thought like quickly I can finish off that class. It's like it'll finish off in 1 hour. If I'm doing on my own, probably it'll take a long time. I did that and I went to group class. It was some dancing class. I'm actually not done dancing. So it was even very difficult to even put those steps. But then the trainer came to me. He said, I'm going to show you how to do the steps. You practice only that. He gave me some 10 steps. Whole class, I've done, I worked only on my own. I've danced. It was not dancing. It's about putting steps here, steps there, step one here, step one there. It was more that kind of, it's like a stepper. I did not know anything about that. Today, even if I do that again, I may not even remember everything because dancing was not my nature. But he said next Wednesday, you will probably be able to learn better. I'm still in learning mode. Others were in doing mode. So what will I think? I'm not good enough for this dancing. So I'd rather go up and then do the regular gym, which I already know better. I can think like that. But then instead of that, I asked myself, Smita, will you quit this class and then go because you are now out of place? Everybody's doing their thing, but you are like standing there not knowing how to put those steps. It was very confusing. Mind body coordination was not happening. Now I just said, wow, I've always wanted to dance, but I did not actually pursue that experience. So maybe this is a great opportunity for me to learn. I just kept telling myself. And then the teacher came to me and I said, I told, yes, I am new and I don't know how to do this. Then he stood next to me and so what I'm trying to tell is, first of all, you should be in acceptance that this experience has come to me for something. If it's there in my life, it is there because of a good reason. I may not know why it is there. That is the acceptance. First, you need to bring that the acceptance that it is controlled by somebody, some God, and then it is God has decided that this is the good for me, which is why it's coming. But what am I supposed to learn from it? You still don't know. So attitude should first change because you are not the deciding party whether you're going to pursue that or not pursue that. Accept that experience as good in your life. First step. Second step is be open to whatever it's supposed to learn, whatever you're supposed to learn from that, even if it is like little. So when that openness comes to learn, little by little, you will learn. Even if it takes 6 months for you to be better. Suddenly, let's say, if you have to do that job, if you're expecting yourself to be like perfect, not making any coding mistakes and all, though, then you have too much of expectations. It's okay. And you may make coding mistakes. Your manager might scold you, or maybe your team lead might say, what, you don't know this much also. All that they might tell. It's okay. These are ego, hurting the ego, or rather ego is now getting trashed for the right reasons. So take it as an experience. So see, I have insult, I get insulted, they are insulting me, I feel ashamed. All of that is there inside me because it was natural for you to learn. When learning a new skill, you not being good at it is obvious. But then when they tell in that situations that you're not good, which you already know, you don't like. So those are, for those kind of situations to come to you and you recognizing that these things are already there inside you, these situations had to come like that. You have to think, then accept, apply all of these practices that we are talking about, because moment to moment experiences are coming, trigger is being shown, you have to see trigger. Forget about one life being one big thing. I have to do one job, I have to do IT, then I have to pursue my own skill. That is a big story that we have built to ourselves. But what is reality? Reality is moment is different today. This moment is different. Next moment is different. Next moment is different. They are not connected. Don't connect the moments. Just see it as different individual units. When you see them as different individual units, it is easy for you to apply the process. If you start connecting dots, if you say this past, future, connection, all of that, if you start to do, then you will go mad. You can't, because you have no way to analyze all those things, and you can't prove that your analysis is right also. So see each moment as a new experience. Each moment is having an experience. There is a trigger. It is showing you who you are. Apply, recognize the trigger, surrender it to God. Next moment will come. Accept, surrender to God. Next moment will come. We are doing this in a loop. It's like a recursive loop, right? Programmers, you might know this, recursive loop. So don't connect moments. Just see it as an experience. Something is shown. I'm just applying and moving on. Then you are not thinking about, oh, this is a skill I have to learn. It's a skill I don't have to learn. How do I imagine what job I have to do? Don't think about anything. Have a positive attitude. See positive in everything. Be willing to learn. Be willing to see good. There is a reason why it is there. And there is no way it's a bad reason. It's a good reason, but you can't see it. But how do you know whether it's good or bad for you? Only when you have an open mind. So have that open mind. Be grateful that God is so very kind. He's thinking about you and he's sending you these experiences so that you can actually become a better version of you can self-realize yourself. That's all. Life is very simple only if you just break moments like this. Moment to moment, apply process, keep doing, keep staying good vibrations, chanting, this, that. So come back to all of this. Don't involve here. See, where is mind involved? Moment, yes, everything that is coming to me is always for the good. No mind, no logic, nothing. It's always for the good. Then every moment is different. Every moment is unique. No mind there also. Every experience comes to me to teach me something, to show me something. No mind there also. Applying acceptance when you see something inside that is happening, no mind there also. No logic, nothing. Then again, give off that to surrender, give off that to God. Again, no mind there also. So when you give scope for your mind to do its drama, give analysis, give explanation, make you feel good, make you not feel good, there you will get stuck. So don't give the opportunity to mind to generally keep going like this. It will come. We will do it because we are not always in 100% awareness. But when you are in awareness, you have to practice to just keep doing this in a loop. Because that is the only job you have. In every role, every job, everything, you have to only just keep going back to God. That is your job. Going back to the God that is inside you, to becoming the God that is inside you, to merging the body and that mind. The body and that God should be like one and the same. Shiva and Shakti have to merge like this. They are separated as of now. As of now, you are that Shakti who's separated from that Shiva, who's not identified with Shiva also. There is one Shakti, it's like that Sati who was in her own mind and who was not even like in that level of what Shiva was. Then that Sati she was a body, she was in body consciousness. So she died. The body died. Then when Parvati came, she had to work hard to come to God consciousness, to Shiva's consciousness, which is the Shiva is already inside us. So, which means what are we doing? We are all that Parvati. We are doing that sadhana. We are working on ourselves every day. That tapas we are doing to get back to that Shiva who's inside us, to go and then merge with him. So, it is all a journey. Her life represented our life. She did tapas for like so many thousands of years. We are also in this journey for thousands of years, having so many different sati bodies. In her life, she just showed in 2 lives, but we are in sati bodies for many lives. So we'll be continuing like this. So just think of it in that moment and be willing to learn and be okay with not being good at a particular job. It's okay. You don't have to be insulted. You don't have to insult yourself. Accept yourself. It's okay. It is fine. Everything is just an experience. There is no good experience. There is no bad experience.
I just wanted to share, this is not a question, just a thought of mine that came across when I listen to the classes. I always have this mindset like I have to think good about everything that is happening to me. So when I thought of the situation that I'm going through, I have thought like whatever the responsibility that I'm holding, God has given to me, like at household chores or at office or wherever I'm going, any minute work that I'm getting. So if God gives me such work, because He knows that I have that capability, and that's why.
Not that He knows that you have the capability. He thinks that, rather your own soul thinks that you will become capable even if you're not capable now. It's a journey. It's a journey to get to where you are. We are not always perfect in everything. You are capable means we are already capable. We are already that God. We have already all those skills. What is the capability that we are talking about that we don't have? We have everything. All that we are trying to do is drop the feeling of incapability that we have. We are already everything. We are just dropping veils of limitations that we already have. That's all in this journey. Yeah. Yeah, Janvika.
So I have two questions. One is, so you spoke about your father, reminding you all repeatedly that, you guys should be good to each other as sisters. And so isn't this imposing fear in your children as parents? Like,
Yeah, I mean, if I had that knowledge, then I would have taken that as a trigger.
so it is, right? So, I mean,
But now
um,
if I stand from my current wisdom and then judge that,
mhm.
yes, I will probably judge that. But then is it right for me to judge my past? May not be.
Uh, so the reason why I'm asking you is since we are parents today, should we, be doing the same thing? Because we do have certain things which we've learned from our roots and which we want to pass on to our kids. But is it right to, let them know things like these, which has a little fear in them, some corner?
The whole thing that we think about is when we tell them stuff, they will
Hmm.
learn from that, and fear will teach them is a very wrong concept. It will not be, they cannot sustain that, especially today's kids will not sustain that. Maybe in our generation, fear worked, but
Hmm.
I have had, I'm in this kind of counseling stuff for a very long time now, and I have had people who came to me with such issues where they say that, oh, my parents did this to me. But then from my point of view, The parents were actually being parents, but the child in them had not taken that in the right spirit. So we may have done it for the right reasons, but how can you control their perception of that experience? You can't, no? So what, but which is why we say you always think about yourself. Why do we say such things? Because we want to control the way ego is losing out on the happiness from that particular relationship for a certain reason. For, let's say, they are doing something or they are not doing something. So how does it do? It wants to get it back. It wants that happiness back from that, which is why it is doing things, it is manipulating words and other things so that it can get it back, hoping that that other person is going to change. But the law says is that nobody is going to change. They are only going to keep reflecting you. They're going to be in the business of keep showing to you who you are, who you are, who you are. And they will continue to not listen to you or continue to keep giving you the same experience because you're still not learning. So when you're constantly focusing on yourself all the time and seeing life as more of a trigger bringing experience, then you will always evolve yourself. And a person who's evolving himself is doing his swadharma. He's on the path of dharma. And dharma always protects anybody who walks on the path of dharma. And we can't do dharma by walking on somebody else's path, by interfering in their path and all that. That is not dharma at all. So dharmo rakshiti rakshitaha means when you walk your own swadharma, when you walk your life, you work on your cleaning yourself of your limitations, and you evolve to become let's say a divine version of yourself who's already inside. The divinity will reflect from people around you. And in what way they have to give you happiness, that is already reflecting in that vibration. You don't have to tell that in your words and actions and all of that. The vibrations already speak that loud and clear. And it will already reflect that because those are finer versions in the divine person. So you don't have to tell people, your children, to be grateful. They'll always express gratitude because when you are grateful, when you are practicing gratitude, then the vibrations will have those kind of will have that language. Energy will speak that language. Then they will reflect that. And when they reflect it back to you, you wouldn't have expected that also. That perfection that comes out through them, no? You wouldn't have expected this. Even with all of your fear talking and gyan and all of that, you cannot make them do that. But when you allow the universe to bring that version of them in front of you, because you worked on yourself, it will be like you can't even put words to it. It's like a sweet that you have never tasted, but it is like so good that you actually can't know how, you don't even know how to make it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you have to follow the process, follow the teachings, and you will see the magic. Because you're working on yourself, you are not interfering in any other soul's life. Other souls are having experiences in their life because they planned it. Who are we to say what you're doing is wrong? Because every experience is an experience. People want the souls want these experiences. That is why they are here, for all these limited experiences. If you have everything in, like I've given that millionaire example at some point, right? That slum experience he wanted. That is why he's here. He already knows he's a millionaire. We don't have to ruin his slum experience. But you work on your own slum experience. Let them work on their own slum experience. When you work on yours, you will raise, and then someday you will not be in slum, someday you will be somewhere else. Then you'll see this corresponding them in that reality. See, your people that you have a contractual relationship in this life is there in every single frequency. At that frequency, they are ready to give you your POSC. They are ready to become your POSC at that frequency. You have to go to that frequency, they'll give you that experience. Wherever you are, they are very well prepared for you. You can't change them. They are everywhere. You are traveling. You are the traveler. So you can't change the person who's currently with you. You have to go to a different frequency to meet that person.
Yeah, I experienced this actually when I changed my, frequency in your words, but like I changed my perspective, I would say.
Yes,
I could
yes.
see things. I mean, it was a miracle. It's like a miracle.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
was a beautiful
When we
experience.
align with God, the kind of outcomes that we get, right, is actually something that you can't put words. Even gratitude is less, I can say.
Hmm.
It will only get better and better. When we go down, right, negative, when we are in the negative, when we are going down, there is a limit. You can't go any more negative.
Hmm.
This body can't even take it. But when we are going higher on a positive scale, there is no limit, which is even more beautiful.
Um, that explains beautifully. And my other question is, see, usually in life, any human being, it's not me, always has good intentions where relations are concerned. You don't create a relation or you don't have a relation with bad intentions. Ki mujhe to isse, I want to get even or I want to be bad to the. You never have those thoughts. So then why there is negativity in the relation, or why is one misunderstood so much, or why is one's intentions not visible in actions or in behavior?
Because we
Why
have
the person is always
expectations. It's not just enough to have an intention. It's also important to understand that I have a feeling of lack, that I don't have something, and I'm expecting that from somebody. But the thing says that you are everything already. But that feeling of expectation, sorry, feeling of lack, and then wanting to have that lack fulfilled is what is actually limiting you.
so that's why it's not visible,
It's
the
not
good
visible. So as
intention.
long as you have whatever ingredient that you have, something is not disappearing from your life. It is because you are continuing to emit those vibrations for want. You are in a certain frequency where you are meeting that kind of version of God. It's like you're seeing Krishna as a person. But if you go higher, you will see Krishna as God. Which means you'll see your, let's say, for example, your husband. If you're seeing him as a person who's not understanding you at all in this frequency, you have to go higher to be seeing a person who's understanding. You have to go even more higher to see a divine version of him. He's there in every single frequency. Where you are there for a certain reason, because at that frequency, you have something in you that needs to be released, which is why you're not getting out of that frequency yet. Who makes you stay in that frequency? The God within you makes you stay in that frequency. Until you release, you won't be getting out of that place.
Mhm.
And then we are there in all different frequencies at the same time. We are releasing many things at the same time, showing us many things at the same time. But in every now moment, there is only one thing that you're experiencing. Which is why I said don't connect the moments. Think of each moment as a separate, unique to-do exercise.
Also, I want to share one more thing. So since resonation in my life, and since a lot of self-realization, lot of uh, you know learning from you, like all the videos, watching them and everything, sitting for these sessions, listening to you, has brought a lot of change in the mindset. It's a complete um, open mind, I would say. It's very open now. So it has personally made me very relaxed, and I'm like like little away from the worldly things, and I'm feeling very content. Like my husband says, "You look santusht." That's what he says to me. But then he's not taking it very very positively. Rather, he says, "Ki, oh, you to don't care. You're like in your own world, and you for you nothing matters. You don't question." I've actually stopped questioning even my children.
See, many
So,
times what happens is we also may have a mind, we may have a belief system that says, hey, is it even okay to be not to be in that state where nothing triggers you? Rather, your content, for example.
Yes.
There could be a belief system to say, am I even right to be here?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? So that also is there. So at that time, accept that also as a trigger that, hey, see, he has a doubt. He's questioning me, which means I have that question within myself, actually.
Okay.
Then accept that, oh yeah, there are some limiting doubts about it. Who knows why I have it? Yeah, I have it. I've seen that. Now because he's showing me, I've seen that. Thank you for
Mm.
showing me that I'm still probably not, rather, my foundation in this current moment is not completely sure of whether I'm in the right state. Is this even okay to have? Maybe am I too, what do you say, non-aggressive, sorry, non-ambitious, or maybe I'm just becoming more lethargic. There are so many such questions that will come up. But then
Correct. Yeah.
it is okay to come. It is a transition period. To get to that 100%, you are in that transition period. So accept that also and just surrender that also. And then interact with them. See, sometimes it's okay to interact with them because you know that you are in the mode of identifying triggers. So it's okay to interact with them, play with them, have fun with them. So it's okay to, if you are like all by yourself chanting, then that's a different thing. It's
Mm.
okay, you'll find time for chanting. So just say that, yeah. So see, without the sansar, you will not be able to get to that self realization. No, sansar is the
Yes.
one that is feeding you all these triggers. So you
Yeah.
can't leave the sansar to go to that point. You have to keep the sansar to go to that point. They are the stepping stone to success. You
So
can't
are we
get
are
away
we
from
gonna
their lives.
yeah. So are we gonna be like at a stage in our life where we will stop questioning ourselves?
Yeah,
Or
the
will
doership will go, the enjoyership also will go. Doership means God is getting it done through me.
okay.
And then outcomes are happening because of him. It will come off to that stage. And it will refine, go to that 100%. And that is like a pure state where you're literally in love with everything around you. You're in, even in the people around you, it'll reflect. Then your husband also will be like that only. In the transition period, he will question, he will say, are you okay? You're not mingling with us, all that he will do. But then if you
Mm.
accept that also and still continue to keep going ahead, that stage will come where he will reflect your 100%. But now he is reflecting your 60%, 50%, 40% with the doubt and
Mm.
all of those things in between.
Yeah, because he has expectations, so obviously these things
Are
will be
those
visible for
expectations, or
him.
you thinking that people have expected? See, it's all going to balance out. You just watch your trigger, because when we try to give meanings to experiences, then we'll get carried away because we want to convince our ego. But then when you say, yeah, it's meant to be, I have to see what is inside me, and then I just have to accept it and I have to go. But see, acceptance doesn't mean that you will connect actions to it. You can tell him anything, you can say no, yes. If you're trying to defend, that's a different thing. You can say, yeah, 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 definitely. I'm so sorry I ignored you. Yeah, what was your, can we do this together today? Like that, you can just casually
Mm.
chit chat and all of those things. Actions doesn't matter. It's your mind and emotions majorly. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hema.
Yeah, hi Smita. Sorry, I won't take much time. It's
No
getting
problem.
late. What I wanted to ask is currently what challenge I am facing is with my son. Like he's using a lot of gadgets. He's in grade 10 and he's not focusing on his studies much. And then a lot of gadget usage is happening, even though we have told him many a times. He watches even at night, okay, hiding from us, and then he goes and sleeps in school. Then the teachers complain and all that. So how do I actually deal with this situation?
See, exactly the same thing happened. I'm sure in many households also the same situation is happening. The way I saw this, at least in my reality, is I'm seeing a version of my daughter because I'm meeting her at that frequency.
Yeah,
So if it bothers me, yes, I can stay at that frequency, accept only and move on. There is no way I can jump from that frequency.
yeah,
So what I did was I started to teach myself that I am okay if I rather I start. Why do we hate? Why do we dislike all these things? We think that, oh, 10th is a 10th is a transformation period.
Yeah.
And if they don't get good marks in 10th, then that's it. They will fall in every single area of their life. Second, they'll not get good colleges. And then from there, they will not get good jobs. And
Yeah.
whatever, let's say if they have to go abroad, friends are going abroad, they will not get that. So
Correct.
it is a cascading effect. So we want them to understand it right now, and then we give gyan.
Correct.
But that doesn't work because
Yeah.
my daughter also has told, I want to do it, I want to change, but my
Yeah.
distraction is very strong.
Yeah. Right.
Right? So what can you do
Yeah.
about it? That is their life experience that they have currently in the current frequency that I'm meeting them. That is a life
Yeah.
experience. But I
Yeah.
can't get out of this frequency. But what I can do is, what I decided to do is, I decided to chant.
Okay.
When it was like literally in its peak, I took a sankalpa that I will chant 1 crore japam.
Okay.
It will take some years, but
Mhm.
that intention was put that I
Correct.
will do that thing. Why am I doing the chanting? Not because she has to change.
To raise
I
your
did
frequency.
no, I did what does raising of frequency mean? If I raise my frequency, I will get clarity to
Okay.
see positivity in the same experience. I
Okay.
did that. I did chanting for that. See, experience will not, but
Yeah.
my peace of mind is not there. That is why I have a problem today.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
I want peace of mind. So the peace
Yeah.
of mind can come anywhere. Let's say, for example,
Yeah.
children may not study at all, but then what if they become like Ambani or whatever? Maybe some other
Yeah.
job learn in they have some other skill. Forget about all that. What I'm just saying is happiness is something that is coming from inside. So
Correct.
I started doing chanting for that clarity, for that awareness that I don't have today. So
Correct.
as I continued to keep chanting, I started to realize and ideas started to come to be able to accept them the way they are. It came.
Okay.
And trust me, it has not even been a month since I completed the chanting. It has been phenomenally different. My mind
Yeah.
and here now even my husband also has actually started to accept her the way she is. And
Mm-hmm.
because we have accepted her the way she is, she has started to become serious in her life.
Okay. Okay.
So this
So
has to
we,
come because they have to change. And so which means you met them at a different frequency now.
correct. Correct.
In
Correct.
a previous frequency, they were careless like this. I can't say careless.
Correct.
Their experiences were different. What they're showing me is different because we had fear.
Correct.
Now,
Correct.
when I'm willing to drop that fear, but if I can't drop that fear, if I can't accept that fear, if I can't surrender that fear, it is because I don't have that energy to do that yet.
Correct.
Me to be able to do the right thing, even because that knowledge tells me to do, I'm not able to do means because that energy is not there to,
Right.
to get that state.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did chanting. When I
Okay.
started to do chanting, and gratitude also did not come so much. So chanting is what came.
Okay.
Because in
Okay.
some areas, no, attachment is so strong,
Yeah. Yeah.
gratitude
Right.
also will not come. In some
Right.
areas, attachment will be less. So gratitude
Mm.
will come. And you can
Right.
shift. But in some areas where attachment is very strong, you can't see,
Right.
it just gets clouded.
Correct.
Especially the
Correct. Correct.
children and all of that, it gets
Yeah.
very clouded. So there I
Right.
started doing chanting. So,
Okay.
and I was very consistent with my chanting. Like every day,
Okay.
5,400, like at least 1.5 hours to 2 hours, I would sit and chant.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because that is the time. If I want something, I need to be
Yeah.
willing to do that kind of work.
Right.
Not
Right.
willing to do that kind of work for that clarity and application of knowledge.
Yeah.
It will not
Right.
come. We'll
Right.
be suffering every day. So
Right.
to be
Right.
able to even accept them the way they are, I
Right.
needed to chant. And today
Okay.
I have accepted them the way they are. And
Right.
what has not been there in the past, that feelings for them, even
Right.
in in the past, at least to a large extent, even though I knew what is the right thing to do, to be able to hug them, love them, or whatever, that never came. It was not
Right.
natural
Right.
for me. But today
Yeah.
there was so much of expectations, there was so much of thing that naturally was within me that it was not
Yeah.
allowing me to see the feelings were not coming out. But today,
Correct. Correct. Correct.
after doing all of this chanting, today I'm actually willing to go and hug them just like that without any
Right.
expectations back. That
Correct.
I was
Correct.
never
Correct.
a hugger. I was never a hugger. But today,
Mm-hmm.
actually becoming a person who's probably going wanting to hug them.
Right. Right. Right.
And
Okay.
why? Because it's cleaning the insides.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Right.
that
Right. Right.
clean is helping me accept
Mm.
this. they are, and that
Right.
acceptance
Yes.
of who they are is actually helping them change my
Correct,
reality show,
correct. Correct.
where they are showing me a different reality.
Got it. Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
reflection is changing. So if we should be able to do that, because there is no other choice,
Choice.
that realization has come long back. In
Yeah, yeah.
2019 itself, it was in its worst peak.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What else was the worst? But then it was in the worst.
Hmm.
Since then, some meditation practice, something, some spiritual
Correct, correct,
stuff
correct.
I'm constantly doing on myself.
Right, right, right.
And
So
the
tell me something. So here he is like, we have not given him his phone to keep with himself all the time.
that is a
Okay. So
decision
he's,
that we are taking.
no, yeah, we have given him limited usage. So he's not happy with that. And, when he doesn't get it, then he goes and takes my mom-in-law's phone at night. And, so
It is not going to stop. It is,
will
which
it
I'm saying,
help
right?
if we just give him the phone in his hand and, like,
There is
is
no
that
right or wrong. There is no rights and wrongs here. There is no this decision, that decision is right, this decision is wrong.
okay?
No,
Okay.
your frequency, your fear will create more fear-giving experiences. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
Okay.
can change shape and form and turn and twist and come out in some way, but it will still be fear.
Okay, 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 okay.
And you will only constantly question all the kids. There is one child who studies. I can see the
Uh-huh.
video. Probably, I think he's seeing he looks like a very studious child and all that. So, Chad, if only my child was not distractive, there could be so many possibilities that we could see the laptop and learn so many things, and let's say
Hmm.
Khan Academy and all of those
Right,
things
right,
like
right,
that. Even that
right.
also will come. See, there are
Correct, correct.
many things that are ego, right? It will give you all sorts of stuff to
Yeah, yeah,
blame
yeah.
you, to
I
self-pity,
also
all of
keep
that will
telling him there
happen.
are so many good things. Why don't you watch those things and spend your time?
We are
But he's
trying.
hardly bothered.
No,
And
see, I don't know, we have tried N possible things and we
yeah,
have
yeah.
learned that we are nowhere in that state.
Correct, correct,
And
correct.
let's say I'm like this, then I will see a version where my husband is like still trying.
Hmm.
See a version where my husband is still. So I'm telling myself, maybe there is a version of me inside which is still not in 100% acceptance.
Right,
This is
right,
why I'm
right,
still
right.
seeing somebody who's still trying in my experience. I'm
Uh-huh.
still feeling bad, still feeling
Yeah,
is not working, still feeling. So first it will be like self, then it will be like
right.
indirectly and all it will show. So there are many ways in which
Correct,
foundationally we
correct,
have to
correct.
get to 100%.
Right.
It is going to take time, but if you
Yeah,
start today and if you literally stay consistent with it, it is
right.
going to improve significantly in the next 1 or 2 months itself.
Right, right. So we have to just accept him in whatever form and way he is,
If you
whatever he is,
can, you do that.
whatever
If you
he is
can't, you have to
doing,
do
be
work on
happy with
yourself.
it. Whatever he is doing, be happy with it. And just keep
It's
chanting.
easier said than done.
Right.
It's easier
I
said
know, I
than done.
know.
You can't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. You're
Right,
telling,
right. Yeah.
but
I
you may
just
not be able
intervene?
to do that.
Right, right, right.
Can
Right.
I intervene?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add in something since we all parents have gone through this. If you're accepting him, let it be very visible because that will help the child a lot. If you feel that you accept him in every way, every corner of his thoughts, his actions, it should be visible for him to have the confidence in you and, maybe look at life differently because that's the gap between us parents and children, I think, where they
See,
Yeah.
when you
don't
say
have the
visibly,
confidence
right?
in us. Yeah.
When you say visibly, you do that. Sometimes if we are trying to fake it, it will not work because energy speaks louder than words.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely,
So
definitely. I
if you are
agree with you.
actually telling the way she is telling, if you're doing the way she's telling, it means it has already become genuine. But
Hmm.
are we there yet?
No.
We may not be there yet. So to be there yet, to go to that point, first of all, you have to sit and chant. If even gratitude practice is not helping you, if you can't think of being grateful for that person in whatever way they are,
Yeah.
chanting is the only way. So
Mm.
rather sit and decide and then show up for chanting every single day
Hmm.
as much as possible, like your life depends on it.
Correct, correct, correct. So
And
take any mantra
anyway,
that,
nothing you can't control as
yeah,
of now. Nothing you're able to control. At least you can control what you have chosen to decide to do for yourself. You can jump from one frequency to another frequency. And
correct.
as of now, you'll still stay in the seek frequency. Rather, you can think that, okay, there is a frequency where you are not in acceptance and you are not chanting. There is a frequency where you're chanting and he's still the same. He's still distractions and all of those things.
Yeah.
There at least acceptance has come within you. There is one such. So like I said, in that frequency also, experience is still the same. But you are changing. Your perception of seeing the same experience is different. Then at one point, you will meet an experience where it is all going to match. Really, you would have accepted him. Then that experience will go off. He will change.
Okay.
He will show changes because now you are 100%. It's going to reflect back in that experience. The post will reflect it back to you. He is going to reflect back uncertainty, restlessness, fear, and all of those things within you as long as you have it. Let it keep coming. You just accept that it is within you and you keep chanting.
Okay.
He's not showing you that experience because he is like that. He's showing you because you have it and you need to see it to be able to believe that you have it.
Right.
And even when two people are fighting, let's say your husband is also constantly telling him, study. It is, you are also seeing their clashes. And that is also creating a disturbance in you. That is happening because you again have fear that that will disturb him even more.
Correct.
So everything has to show you what you have. It is because it is because of what you have, they are coming. They are showing you. Not because of what they have, you are getting fear. It's not the other way. It's this way. It's only one way.
Yeah.
It's always one way.
Okay.
Which is why you have to always turn to yourself. It's not a two-way street. It's only a one-way street.
Okay.
And it's difficult. It takes time. You be patient. It's not like there are many classmates that I have, which I keep telling, they have failed. They have failed in many areas, but they have become CEOs of their own startups.
Right.
People can change. If you have the best frequency by the time he's in college, let's say,
Correct.
even if he has not done degree, you will find a version who has succeeded at that level, even if it's not scored well in 10th.
Correct.
Because you determine what you attract, what pose you attract. So you keep refining yourself, come what may, you will find the right POSC for you.
Okay. So should it be the same mantra that you chant every day, or can it be different?
Whatever you want, you can actually chant that. What I chant is Sri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama.
Okay.
I just picked it. You can pick whatever you want, stay consistent with it, do as many as possible.
Okay.
Because the more you keep chanting, the more longer you are staying with it, the longer your cells also start vibrating at that frequency.
Right.
Every word, every letter has a frequency.
Correct.
Awareness will improve. It will definitely improve over a period of time. You will actually be able to accept them the way they are.
Correct.
Will come and you do chanting just so that you can actually get to to be able to see God's hand in any experience and to be able to see the right thing behind it. You need energy.
Correct.
So for that you have to chant.
Correct. Got it. Yeah. Thank you, Smita. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Chalo, I think we've done a lot today. We've actually gone over maybe about an hour. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Supreme God, we thank you for your divine blessings to my spiritual teacher, to all the spiritual teachers, holy masters, all the saints, holy angels, spiritual helpers, and all the great ones. We humbly thank you all for your great blessings. Thank you. Please do share your takeaways. Just have some key points that you want to practice for the next week. And you can share whatever you learned from this class. Don't wait until the next class to be able to share the takeaways. It will all disappear from your mind. Share right now so that it will actually be fresh. And you can also practice from today. Okay? It can be just 1 or 2 points. Just focus on those 1 or 2 points for the next 1 week. Okay? Chalo. You don't give me a summary of this class. That is not necessary. What you learned is what I want to know. Okay? Thank you.